We are live on the campus of Baker High School for another 7A Region 1 rivalry, but the Baker Hornets aren't here. Davidson will be playing home games at Clem Richardson Stadium this season, and tonight they are hosting Murphy, with both the Panthers and Warriors looking to get their first win of the year. Who will it be? Stick around and you'll see. Good evening and welcome to the MCPSS High School Football pregame show, brought to you by Bishop State. I'm Al Wheaton, he's Corey Bounty. Down on the sidelines, we're joined by Kimberly Dunn. Corey, this is a familiar spot for us. 7 days ago, we were just here.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting aspect for the Davidson Warrior fans. It's a home away from home. They made the transition here to Clem Richardson Stadium, and you look for a great matchup. We had a 7A Region 1 matchup 1 week ago here on MCPSTV, and now we're turning around and having another one. Someone's going to get their first win tonight, so it's going to be fun football here in West Mobile. It will be fun football, Corey. You're right. Both of these teams have not won a ball game. Murphy's 0-2, and Davidson is 0-1 on the season. The first week of the season, they were scheduled to have a jamboree against George County, I believe, but that game was canceled due to COVID. So this is Davidson's second ball game. They were able to manage 14 points against Daphne last week, but the Murphy Panthers, they have been shut out twice in a row, Corey. Yeah, it's a situation to where as we go into the game, we'll kind of explain where they are as a team and the reason why they probably have not scored. And as we examine further, you know, Coach Rico Jackson has done an outstanding job with this Murphy program, being the hand that he was dealt. And that's the situation that a lot of these coaches are, getting the best of what you have. And it's not that they don't have talent. It just comes down to, as we look into this game, a matter of execution at some points and phases of the game. But I look for Murphy to go ahead and find a way tonight to get into the end zone. Speaking of execution, Corey, let's head over to your checklist, Corey's checklist. So who do you have up first for us tonight, Corey Bounty? The Davidson Warriors, they definitely want to make sure they get off to a strong start. If they're able to get out to a strong start, they'll be just fine. And that's very important for them to get off to that strong start. They need to be balanced. If they're balanced, they'll be just fine. Special teams is also key for them. And also, you look at the Davidson Warriors, the third thing that they have to do is have to Warriors wrap up. What do I mean by that? They have to tackle very well. If they're tackling well, they'll be just fine. That's something they want to make sure they did not do a week ago well. You look on the other hand, the Murphy Panthers on my checklist, the Panthers passing game is very important tonight. They'll be having a backup quarterback as their starting quarterback was injured in game number 1, out for the season. 1 week ago, they weren't able to throw the ball effectively, so let's see if they're able to have that passing game tonight. Also, you must eliminate turnovers. The Panthers have been punching the ball in or getting within the red zone, and then all of a sudden they turn the ball over within that red zone area. That attributes to them not scoring any points, so they have to take care of the football tonight. And they must finish drives. That goes hand in hand with eliminating turnovers. If they're able to finish drives within the 20-yard line or within the red zone area, they'll be just fine tonight, Al. That's something Coach Rico Jackson told us on the phone the other day. They need to get into the end zone and score some points, basically. Found a nugget here, Corey. The last time Murphy was held scoreless to start the season, you have to go back to 1944 when they lost 4 in a row and they were shut out 4 exact times. So I'm sure Coach Jackson doesn't want to get close to their record and get the third one tonight. No, he doesn't. I mean, and he's the offensive coordinator, the co-offensive coordinator. So, you know, that's where he makes his hay, so to speak. So he takes a lot of responsibility trying to find a way to get this Murphy Panther offense into gear. Coach Jackson's not on the field because if he was, he definitely would punch it in himself. Just that's how hungry he is. But this Panther pride, I think, will go ahead and find a way again to get that goose egg off of the board here. Speaking of punching it in, our buddy Kimberly Dunn is ready to punch in. Corey, let's take it out to the sidelines. Our first time seeing her for the season. She's going to give us the BSN weather forecast. What's up, Kimberly?
Hey, guys. I'm so excited to be back with y'all here tonight, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what the conditions are like here on the field. Right now, we're kind of staying in the 80s all night, so that's not going to be the big factor for them tonight. The biggest factor is going to be that humidity. It's actually 74% humidity at 7 o'clock, but then the humidity rises into the 80s. So this is really going to be a test of whether these guys have some endurance and stamina that they can push through that humidity all night long. And both of these teams feel like they have a lot to prove. They're coming off of losses. They feel like that they need a win in order to have a confidence booster. And having that region win will definitely be a confidence booster for either one of these teams tonight.
All right, thank you, Kimberly. We'll be checking back in with her when we get closer into the ball game. Corey, speaking of in the ball game, who's going to be making an impact tonight for both of these ball clubs?
It's always fun to watch whether the impact players play a vital role, and there's a reason that I select them to be the impact player, because so far in the season, their coaches give them high praise, and they stick out on film. One of those who jump out for the Davidson Warriors automatically is Jacody Harris, the defensive back. He's a junior. You know, you get to that second level, you don't want to make a lot of tackles if you're him, because that means they've gotten to the second level, but he's an impact player and a vocal leader for this Davidson Warrior defense. Also, Derek Butler, folks. This young man is a sophomore running back. He is going to be dangerous in the years to come if he can stay healthy. He's a difference maker running the football for the Davidson Warriors. On the other side, you look at the Murphy Panthers. Their impact players are none other than an athlete who's a junior, Corey Kelly. We saw him play a little bit of quarterback 1 week ago. He lined up at running back. He lines up at wide receiver. He's very versatile, and he's quick and elusive. That's why I like to call him an impact player. Watch out for him tonight. Also, Tim Haynes. He's a linebacker. He's a junior for the Murphy Panthers, number 24. He won't be getting the start tonight, but I guarantee when he comes off of that bench, he'll make his impact known very quickly, and you'll know he's in the contest for the Murphy Panthers.
Well, Corey, we're going to be keeping our eyes out on both of those players. I'm sorry, not both of them, all four of them tonight during this contest. As we said, both of these teams have not won a ball game this season. Matter of fact, last year Murphy beat Davidson 22-7, and this is the 61st meeting between Murphy and Davidson, and Murphy leads the series 39-20 with one tie. So, Corey, as we get closer to kickoff right here, we're expecting a real good contest, but we know a lot is at stake right here because this is a region ball game.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. When you start looking at this region, anytime you lose a region game early, Murphy jumped in and played that non-region contest against James Clemens early, kind of gave them a gauge. And 1 week ago, they weren't able to come away with that win. But now you look at the Davidson Warriors, they jump and play Daphne, who is now a 7A school versus a 6A school, to start off the season. Let's see if their biggest improvement truly is from week 2 to week 3. That's what I want to keep my eyes on. And I know Coach Colley will be doing the same thing.
All right, kickoff is headed your way. Make sure you stick with us. We do appreciate you watching the MCPSS High School Football pregame show brought to you by Bishop State. Don't move. Kickoff is headed your way.
This is a program for any middle school student who's actually behind. This opportunity offers kids a chance to do 2 grades in 1 year.
If it wasn't for Star Academy, I would still be in 8th grade and probably still struggling.
We are one-on-one. We have small classrooms, and we're able to give students that personal touch, that personal attention.
I know I'm coming to see good teachers, good attitude, and also they're here to teach us what we need to learn.
Hello, I'm Renee Phillips, your host of Homeroom. Will you join us as we talk with the students, teachers, and staff about all of the great things happening in our schools?
That's right, Renee. Not only are we here to keep you informed about the great things happening in our schools, but to also keep you updated on safety issues.
Our show, Safe Schools, looks at ways to keep your child and our students safe.
Not only are we looking at ways to keep your child and our students safe, but to keep you informed on how to connect with us.
Manténgase informado aquí en Conexión a Padres.
And we also score big from pre-K to high school with MCPSS Athletics.
And then Inside Education puts it all together for you, showing you the ins and outs about news and events taking place across the Mobile County Public School District. We do this to keep you informed.
Tonight, we welcome you to Clem Richardson Stadium as Jonah DeLonga kicks that one off, and the Murphy Panthers are wrapped up right here near the 12-yard line. Jalen Etney with the return. Our first look at the Murphy Panthers offense heading onto the field led by senior quarterback Caleb Stewart. Corey, we talked about him in the pre-game show, that Stewart getting the start tonight because Derek Davis is out for the year with an injury.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge factor in tonight's game. Jacody Harris getting the job done on special teams early for the Davidson Warriors on that opening kickoff with the stop.
Panthers lining up. Double stack receivers. In the backfield with Stewart, Corey Kelly. Coach Rico Jackson throwing it out. Kelly catches it. He was in the backfield. Take a look at that offense. Talked about quarterback Caleb Stewart at the helm. He replaces Derek Davis, who's out for the year. Stewart is versatile. Also look for him to punt for the Panthers. He'll be throwing it to Corey Kelly as he just did. Among the few backs that Rico Jackson will employ to catch and run the rock for the Panthers. They'll do it behind an O-line that features the only returning offensive starter from last year's team, senior left tackle Devon Smith and junior Zykees James, Christian Boyd, and Malachi Howard. That Panthers offense averages 289 pounds. Second down and a 4 coming up here for the Panthers. Handing that ball off with the run there for Murphy. Fernando Brown. Take a look at the Davidson defense. The Warriors play a 4-2-5 hybrid and may drop into a 4-3 at times due to their size. Inside linebacker Russell Shaw, he's the anchor on the defense. And outside linebacker Ced Easterling may line up on the outside as well. Strong safety Jacody Harris. He'll be joined in the secondary by senior DB Cortez Jackson. He's also going to play some offense today, Corey, on wide receiver. Now here's the catch. The Warriors defensive line averages only 196 pounds, 1st and 10 for the Panthers as they go back to Brown once again. He's coming back this way toward us, Corey, on the press box side. He's got some room, got some blocking. Up the sidelines he goes, pushed out at about the 44-yard line.
Good job of down and distance-wise for Murphy. We talked to Coach Rico Jackson, who's the co-offensive coordinator, along with Devin Crawford, about establishing down and distance, and he has a stable of backs that he can go to. We talked about the difference being the passing, but if you have 3 or 4 backs that you can go ahead and run with and get ahead of the sticks and the chains early, that's important for Murphy because that makes a difference in your play calling, and here early in the game, they've had a couple of nice runs.
Panthers in the Warriors territory already. Ball sitting right here in front of us atop the press box at Clem Richardson Stadium. It's 1st and 10 at the 45 of Davidson. That one's going to hand off to Corey Kelly. Look at him waiting for the blocks, being patient, Corey. Great run by Kelly. Picks up about 8 or 9 yards on that run.
Absolutely love the patience by this young man. He's hiding behind his big offensive lineman, Devon Smith, Zykees James, center Keenan Davis, Christian Boyd, and Malachi Howard, all getting a hat on a hat, early controlling the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 2 yards to go for Murphy here, going ahead and getting on the near side of the field in Davidson territory early in the contest.
This is something Coach Jackson told us. They can get drives going, they can sustain them, but they have not been able to get into the end zone. They start shooting themselves in the foot as they get closer to the red zone. So let's see what the Panthers have in store right here. Flag on the play early here in the ball game. Our first flag.
It's going to be against Murphy.
False start there, signaled by our Whitehead, Tim Porter. Hopefully we have the mic on him tonight.
Dead ball. False start on the offensive team. So 5-yard penalty will remain. 2nd down.
That's about the best our refs have been sounding so far this season. It must be Tim Porter. They got Tom Porter up there. Who's Tom Porter, Corey?
It is Tim.
Tim Porter is our Whitehead tonight. Davidson having none of that as they push the Panthers back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and long coming up.
But one of the things that you saw is here early, you have positive yardage just negated due to a penalty. It's been the self-inflicted wounds that Murphy Panthers have had so far to start this 2-game season. Now, you were ahead down and distance-wise. Now you're at 3rd down and close to 7 yards to go. It changes the offensive play calling ability. We'll be able to see here what quarterback Caleb Stewart's able to come away with.
Brown lined up just to the right of Stewart. I believe that may be against Murphy as well. It looked like possibly one of the receivers started before the play. Corey, and there it is. Another penalty against the Panthers. You talked about stuff like that inside of your checklist tonight.
Yeah, that's something that you just don't want to have. You had a nice drive going, and now all of a sudden you have two.
The offensive team, the 5-yard penalty will remain.
So the Panthers looking at 3rd and 11 here. Ball on the 44-yard line of Davidson. They've had 2 penalties for false starts. As they hand it off to Fernando Brown, this run similar to the one he had earlier in the quarter, as Brown's helmet is knocked off by one of the Warriors, Corey.
Cortez Jackson on the stop for the Davidson Warriors, the 6 foot, 165-pound senior. But anytime you get to that second level, anytime the cornerback's having to make the stop, that's key. But you were able to pick up a 3rd down and long, decided not to test the arm of Caleb Stewart, showing a heavy dose of the running game so far. You know, head coach Rico Jackson is pleased that on a 3rd down and long, they're able to convert to keep the drive alive.
Yeah, he has a stable of running backs at his disposal. 1st and 10 at the 30. Botched snap right there, but Stewart takes it, picks it up. He picks up about 2 or 3 on that stumble there, Corey. So it's going to be 2nd and about 7 or 8 here coming up for the Panthers. As I'm sure Coach Jackson and the coaching staff, they want to get points off this first drive to send a message that they are ready to get points for the rest of this year.
Yeah, you and I talked about it. There's a reason when Murphy won the toss, they elected to receive. They wanted to go ahead and a great first drive and set the tone as Davidson defense come up with a huge stop on 2nd down.
Absolutely. Wrapped up right there. Tremaine Barnes takes down Corey Kelly for a loss. So now here it is again, 3rd and long coming up for the Panthers. Looks to be about 3rd and 12 here. Ball being spotted at the 32-yard line of Davidson as we approach 7 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Panthers had the ball about 5 minutes so far, Corey.
Ball control is critical for Coach Rico Jackson, especially when you're looking at, hey, how can I help my defense get off of the field? Well, not put them on the field until you've almost elapsed 6 minutes off of this opening quarter drive.
Little quick toss out right there from Stewart. Connects with Jalen Edney. Takes the pressure off just a bit. Not enough to get the first down. It's going to be 4th and long coming up here for the Panthers. Decision time. Will they try a field goal with Edie Bingy, or will they go for it?
Go for it. I mean, you want this opening drive. You've already taken up almost 6 minutes off of it. So go ahead and go for it. I mean, that's a long field goal. You're taking an opportunity here from right where the ball is spotted at the 27-yard line. You'll be looking at close to a 44-yard field goal attempt. Rico Jackson's probably going to talk about it with his staff and what he wants to do.
Corey, the play clock's getting under 10 seconds, and the way we know Coach Jackson, the timeout's coming up, or he may roll the dice. We may get a heat timeout, Corey, before the play clock expires.
No heat timeout. It'll go ahead. He'll call the regular timeout, and then we'll go. They'll assess the timeout, and it'll be up to Tim Porter whether he wants to use this as also the heat timeout as well.
Tim Porter is motioning to himself, so we may have our heat timeout. Let's take a quick break and come back here. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Bishop State.
It was just like an extension of home.
Bishop give you that outlet to give you a career, a successful career.
We're doing some great things at Bishop State. Keep an eye on us.
It's the 2021 MCPSS Virtual Signature Academy Showcase, October 19th from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Register at signatureacademyshowcase.bfairs.com. Representatives from all 12 high schools will be on hand to talk about our academies. This event is open to all 7th and 8th graders and their parents. So register today and have your questions answered regarding your child's transition into high school and into a life-changing career path. It's the 2021 MCPSS Virtual Signature Academy Showcase, October 19th from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m.
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Here it is, critical situation, 5:51 remaining in the first quarter. 4th and about 7 here coming up for the Panthers. Stewart is going to throw it. He has a man deep near the end zone, incomplete, as he was trying to connect with his receiver, Corey Kelly. Kelly couldn't bring it in, so it's ball over on downs. I'm sorry, Greg Richardson, number 9 there, Corey.
Yeah, you look at Robinson in the corner. That's a jump ball situation. Robinson listed at 6'3" on Dragonfly, and that's exactly what you want. Just throw it up for grabs, and, you know, you're not able to come away with it, but you put the ball in position for either defender or offensive player to come down with the football. Turnover on downs, that's a huge stop for the Davidson Warriors. But, again, it may be a lot of confidence that you're able to move the football for Murphy, but that's been the story of the first 2 games.
So 1st and 10 here for the Warriors, ball on the 25-yard line. Get a look at their offense coming up here, their starting lineup, as they hand it off. Justin Poe, you talked about him, Corey, during the pregame. Picks up a couple, maybe 2 or 3, be 2nd down and 7 coming up here for the Warriors.
Timothy Haynes, the linebacker on the stop, one of the impact players in the game for the Murphy Panthers, stepping up. Now 2nd down and 8 yards to go now.
Quarterback Bryce Fick has DJ Butler and Justin Poe back there in the backfield with him. As they hand that one off to Poe, let's take a look at the offense. Just talked about junior quarterback Bryce Fick. He's leading the Warriors on the field tonight. Coach Carley wants him to stay in the pocket just a little longer. Last week he connected with Antonio Small for a score, and they'll try to connect again tonight. Also look for running back Justin Poe to be featured a lot in the Warriors offense. We've already called his name twice. Up front, the Warriors have some beef, led by senior left guard Julius Kidd. Corey, check out these measurables. Kidd checks in at 6'2", 337. The Warriors' offensive line averages 262 pounds across the front. 3rd and about 5 coming up here for the Warriors, and we have a whistle and a flag on the far side.
Offside.
So a penalty against Murphy, Corey. Looks like that's going to put Warriors close to a 1st down.
A little bit short, but again, you just have to know where the ball is placed. It's going to bring up now a 3rd down and almost half a yard to go.
Yeah.
Almost 3rd in inches. And Tim Porter signaling that it's going to be close to
close.
a 1st down. That's what he was signaling in 1st and 10.
And there we go.
In the neutral zone.
Oh, so another flag.
5-yard penalty. The yardage will result in a 1st down.
So it is a 1st down for the Warriors. Ball being placed now at the 36-yard line. Take a look at the defense maybe after this play right here. 1st and 10 for Davidson. Fick rolling out. He is a lefty as he tossed that one to DJ Butler, who is smashed by the Panthers. Speaking of that defense, they play a 3-4. Rushing from the edge is 6'4" defensive end Jimani Johnson. He'll be backed up by Will linebacker Tyler Thornton and Mike linebacker Keandre King, who'll get some time on offense tonight as well. Out on the edge, Josh Reynolds will be patrolling for picks along with senior Rashad McQuirter from his free safety position. Up front, nose tackle Brandon Thompson-Evans. He's going to try and clog up the middle with this 254-pound frame. The Panthers average 234 pounds across their defensive line. 2nd down and about 6 coming up here for Davidson. We'll be checking in with their principal. Kimberly Dunn has him down on the sidelines. That's close to another 1st down, Corey.
Good stop, tripping up by Timothy Haynes from his linebacker position, making that stop, but not before the Warriors are going to pick up another 1st down on the play. And here it is, 3:18 remaining in the first quarter. A lot of time elapsed because we've had a decent running game by both of these teams being established. You'd like to see if your offensive coordinator, Chris Denny, Bryce Fick complete his first pass as he did one play ago, but a fresh set of downs for the Davidson Warriors.
Fick hands that ball off to DJ Butler. Butler on the move. And he's smacked right there about the 46-yard line of Murphy, Corey.
Butler, the 6 foot, 180-pound sophomore, continues to learn to read these holes, and he picked and chose where he wanted to go that time, and he's running behind a big left guard that you mentioned, 337 pounds of beef. That's very important, and we're going to have a stoppage of play here briefly, as it's going to bring up 2nd down and 3 yards to go for the Davidson Warriors right at the Murphy Panthers 46-yard line.
Didn't see any flags. Maybe Tim Porter wanted to discuss some things with his crew. Double stack receivers here on the near side. 2nd and short, as you mentioned, Corey. They're going to go back to Butler. He's going to have the 1st down and some more, and the Warriors are on the move. I know that's going to make their principal, Jason Richardson, real happy, Corey.
No question about that, Al. Derek Butler runs very high. He's not one of those low bowling ball type of runners. He runs upright, similar to how Derrick Henry runs, but here's a young man that has high praise from not only his head coach, but other coaches across the county think very highly of this young man also.
Yeah, you're coming in at 6 feet, 180. I'm definitely going to say you're running that ball like Derrick Henry. I think Coach Cawley is talking to one of the officials, may have a timeout, and if we do, we should be able to get our interview down with Kimberly Dunn down there with Principal Richardson. So I believe we have a timeout, Corey. I haven't seen. Here's Tim Porter coming to the middle of the field.
We're going to play. He's rolling his finger like we're ready to play.
Yeah.
So they're going to come out of the huddle, and we are going to play.
The play clock seems to be operable. Game clock seems to be working fine. So he's like, come on, let's go. Maybe they had a kink in the chain or something with the chain game, Corey. But it's 1st and 10, ball at the 35 of Murphy.
First and 10 for Davidson.
Continuing with the run game here for Coach Cawley, who was calling plays this season.
Bring up 2nd and 6 for Davidson.
2nd down and about 4 or 5 coming up here for the Warriors. Getting close to the red zone there, Corey.
That's important for the Warriors, as they were able to score 14 points a week ago against the Daphne Trojans.
Right.
But again, you mentioned it just being their first game of the season. Now just trying to find some type of rhythm. Rick Cawley very happy so far with the way his team started the game.
Continuing to run the rock is DJ Butler. I'm sorry, that's Justin Poe, number 6. That old goal with those black numbers throws me off a bit, Corey. That's a 1st down. The Warriors in the red zone.
Anytime you can go with Poe and Butler, the 1-2 combo, you keep your backs fresh. And they got that great push at the line of scrimmage. Chris Hill, Julius Kidd, Smith Betties, Matthew Hardy, Eugene Lawson, and Johnny Wilkes, all on the offensive line, getting that big push up front. Now you're in the red zone area, right around the 13-yard line of the Panthers.
I'll go with that, Corey. Scoreboard has not updated yet, so we'll go with the 1st and 10, ball at the 13. Little jet sweep, but keeping that ball almost like a wildcat formation. Justin Poe picks up a couple yards just inside of the 10 as our game clock is running down. I don't believe we're going to be able to get Principal Richardson on right now, but I was told our buddy Mike Herndon is checking out the Battle of South Mobile County, Corey, so between the quarter, we may toss it down to him. He's at the Theodore Alma Bryant game.
Looking forward to that, because we had Theodore a week ago.
That's
and
right.
Here it is. Davidson's going tempo here quickly. Again, back in that Wildcat action.
Ball on the 9-yard line, direct snap to Justin Poe, and he is in the end zone at 8 seconds. Game clock continuing to run there, a little extra there, but touchdown for Justin Poe. A 9-yard touchdown run, and Davidson scores first.
Yeah, that was a great run by the Davidson Warrior, created by the push. You can see the hole open up, and if we're able to take a look at that replay, we can see exactly how that left side of the offensive line did open up that huge hole. Davidson Warriors strike first.
Jonah DeLonga on for the extra point. And it is good, so Davidson on top. 7-0 over Murphy. As Corey, this quarter has this quarter has gone by pretty quickly here, basically due to running.
Yeah, that's exactly what you wanted to see. But the difference, Al, between the two teams is Davidson comes out with a strong run game and are able to put 6 and 7 on the board. But you look at the other side of the things, Murphy was able to drive, take 6.5 minutes off the clock, and came away with no points.
All right, let's check in with our buddy Mike Hearn to see what's going on with the Battle of South Mobile County. What's up, Mike?
Hey, we're down here at C.A. Douglas Field, and Theodore has a 14-0 lead. They took the opening kickoff, marched all the way down the field, converted twice on 4th down, wrapped it up with a touchdown run of about 11 yards from Kirsten Rogers. Held the Hurricanes, got the ball back, and Rogers did it again from near midfield. Nice, long, weaving run into the end zone, up 14-0 with 4:21 in the first quarter here.
All right, Mike, we do appreciate that. No surprise, Corey, to hear that name, Kirsten Rogers.
Yeah, this young man is an absolute stud for the Theodore Bobcats. We saw him run a touchdown that was called back on a gimpy ankle 1 week ago and still was effective and caused the defense of Baker to concentrate on him. But this is one of the best backs in the city, or really in the state of Alabama, if you want to know the truth. And he's having a lot of good numbers early here, and I look forward to seeing what his run total will be by the end of the night.
Great drive put together right there by the Davidson Warriors. Hopefully we'll be able to get that scoring drive summary up as Jonah DeLonga and the special teams crew comes outside. Comes onto the field.
10 plays, 68-yard drive. Derek Butler with a 9-yard touchdown run to cap it off. And again, a lot of time elapsed, some 5 minutes off of the clock, which allows our time here to go very quickly in the first quarter of action. But we don't mind that at all because we've had an 8:30 kickoff, we've had a 10:10 finish, we've had almost an 11 o'clock finish. So getting the first quarter over in less than 20 minutes, very impressive by both teams. Plus, when you have only 3 penalties called, it cleans things up a little bit.
But Corey, my eyes may be failing me again. I thought Poe had scored it. You just said Derek Butler, so we'll definitely double check on that one. But they are close with that 6 and that 9. DeLonga gets the signal here from the official, and we're ready to kick it off. Panthers setting up at about their own 15. They're just going to let that one. Oh, it's not. That's a live ball, Corey.
And it's going to be close to a safety.
That is a special teams blunder by the Panthers right there. They set up at the 15. DeLonga kind of put a slight draw on it. And Corey, just like one of my putts at Spring Hill, I'd love for it to die. And that one died right at the 1-yard line.
If it goes 10 yards, it is a live ball.
Wow.
You can't assume that ball is going to bounce into the end zone. It did not, and it is going to be the longest drive that Murphy will have on the year, period.
Bishop State Volleyball, you can catch the Bishop State Volleyball women's volleyball team playing at home this week. They'll host Coastal Alabama East this Wednesday. First serve is at 6 p.m. The Lady Wildcats are currently 4-4 for the season, so stop by, support, and cheer on the Wildcats to victory with Bishop State Volleyball.
And I don't know if we're able to get a second look there at that touchdown sometime after you finish handling this for us, Al.
Got to thank Firehouse Subs because there you can enjoy more subs and save more lives. So thanks to Jim and Susie Sherman at the Greenlight Road Firehouse Subs location for taking care of us and the crew tonight, as they always do for the ball game. 1st and 10, ball on the 1-yard line with 4.7 seconds remaining, and we have a flag here.
You can't back it up any further
False
than you already have.
So this may be a half-of-a-yard penalty for the Panthers. As you can see, the pigskin squeezing right there next to the goal line, Corey.
Now you're at 99.5 yards on the drive.
Before the snap, delay of game infraction, half the distance to the goal line will remain first down.
That has to burn up Coach Jackson coming off of a kickoff. You have a delay of game. Snap is very crucial right here, very important. And he is tackled in the end zone. Is he down, or are they calling it a safety? I see the safety. Fernando Brown could not escape the tackle of the Warriors. So that's a safety. And the Warriors extend their lead to 9-0.
Well, you start talking about the self-inflicted penalties, and then that was really close to being a scoop and score for the Davidson Warriors. Nonetheless, they'll say his knee hit the ground. weren't able to get out of the end zone, and that's one of the things. Special teams miscue led to a quick 6 points for the Murphy Panthers.
Oh boy, it has really opened up here. Davidson on top 9-0 over Murphy. Don't move, we'll be back. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Bishop State.
My name is Harshini. I'm a junior at Davidson High School, and after graduation, I plan on pursuing a career in dermatology. Currently, I'm taking science classes such as AP Chemistry, Biology, and Human Anatomy, which will help me pursue my career. I feel as though Mobile County is preparing me for my career choice in that they provide rigorous classes that help me think further beyond just what I'm learning. I'm Harshini Cannon, a junior at Davidson High School, and I'm learning today so I can be a leader tomorrow.
Welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Al Wheaton, Corey LaBounty down on the sidelines. We have Kimberly Dunn. And Corey, we have Davidson on top 9-0. That is another scoreless quarter for the Panthers. As I said, back in 1944, that was the last time they started the season shut out. Right now, let's take it out to the sidelines. I know Principal Richardson is down there with Kimberly Dunn. He should be pretty happy. How about that, Kim?
He is definitely ecstatic right now. He said it, standing down here may be some good luck for him. But like you said, I'm with Davidson's Principal Richardson. So can you tell us what's going on at Davidson?
We've got a lot of things going on. We're just real excited right now that the students are back in the building. You know, it's nice to see them every day. It's nice to see them in the stands here. So, you know, we're excited for that. Everything is back up and running. We have our fine arts programs getting ready for their fall play. And we just recognized 72 AP scholars this morning, and those are AP students who tested, their scores were above a 3 on multiple tests, so that's real exciting.
That's some exciting and amazing things going on at Davidson. And how are y'all feeling about your games being played here this season for your home games?
Well, this is a better fit for us. You know, with the potential of having a stadium in the next couple years, it's a nice segue into what we're going to have on campus. We're real excited about that, and being able to come out here and have a home field here just gets us one step closer to having an on-campus stadium.
Yeah, so what is going on with your signature academies at Davidson?
We've got a lot of good things going on. We have a preview day planned for early November, so we'll be putting information out about that. Our IB program is having a lot of success. We had a 100% graduation rate last year, so a lot of good things and a lot of things to be excited about.
Yeah, and then if a parent is interested in getting more information, finding out about those signature academies, how can they do that?
The best thing to do would be to go to wpdavidson.org. That's our website, and there's a link for academies, IB, and everything that you need right on our website.
All right, thank you so much for taking time to talk with us, and good luck to you the rest of the night.
Thank you very much.
1st and 10 for the Warriors on the Panthers' 48-yard line, Corey.
That's what happens when you have that free kick off of the safety. Davidson Warriors back in Panther territory.
Bryce Fick throwing it, overthrows his receiver. Boy, he put something on that one, Corey. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10. He was trying to connect with Justin Pope.
Yeah, he wanted to go deep to his running back that was on some type of go route, but overthrew him by about 5 to 7 yards. 2nd down and 10 yards to go, but that's a great kill shot that you go to on 1st down and 10.
I agree.
You open up the playbook on the Panthers' 48-yard line. If you connect with it, it continues to get your home crowd juiced and energized. You lose nothing out of it besides a down, but you can make that back up here. 2nd down and 10 yards to go at the Panthers' 48.
I'll tell you one thing, Kimberly Dunn was right about that humidity, Corey. It is definitely humid here atop the press box at Clem Richardson Stadium. Davidson has called a timeout at 11:41 here in the 2nd quarter. Well, if you didn't mark your calendar last week, I hope you mark it right now. Monday is Labor Day, so that means all schools and offices will be closed with the Mobile County Public School System. Now, Corey, I knew it last week about marking my calendar, but if you didn't watch us last week, make sure you mark your calendar right now. All schools and offices are closed for Labor Day. Got to thank our folks at BSN Sports, where you can get team apparel and equipment. If it's baseball, wrestling, or any sport in between, BSN Sports, the heart of the game. Visit them online at bsnsports.com. The Warriors swagging, the Warriors surfing here inside the Hornets' nest, Corey. They're kind of stirring up their own little pot of honey tonight, if you want to call it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the Warrior way tonight here in West Mobile, as this is the new home for the Davidson Warriors, and they jump out on the scoreboard early, 9-0, here with 11:41 remaining in the second quarter. And they now have the ball again on the Panthers' 48-yard line and are looking to add to that 9-0 lead.
2nd and 10. Had a good look at the arm of Bryce Fick there on that previous play. Antonio Small in motion. Oh, up the middle. He goes, and he is gone. His name is D.J. Butler, and that is a 48-yard touchdown, Corey LeBounty.
Derek Butler right up the middle, slicing up the Murphy Panthers defense. And I told you, this young man is special for the Davidson Warriors. He's only a sophomore.
Right.
6 foot, 180 pounds. You see the next level gear that he has. Once he gets past the line of scrimmage, go ahead and put 6 on the board, folks. That is track style right there for this young man for Davidson. He crosses and gets it home for 6 for the Davidson Warriors.
Low snap for DeLonga. And the extra point is good as Davidson extends their lead 16-0 over Murphy. We're going to take a break and come back and give you more football. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Bishop State.
As a student in the Mobile County Public Schools, there are a few things I've come to expect. One is a quality education, and the other is a quality lunch. Not only are our school meals well-balanced, meeting all federal nutritional standards, but they also have less fat, fewer calories, and they taste really good. Oh, and I forgot to mention, our school lunches contain whole wheat, grains, fruits, and vegetables to give me the energy and brain power to get me through the day.
It was just like an extension of home.
Bishop give you that outlet to give you a career, a successful career.
We're doing some great things at Bishop State. Keep an eye on us.
Coming up at halftime, we're going to have the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Our buddy Kimberly Dunn, she'll climb into the stands and select a spectator and ask them a question, give them some multiple choice selections, and if they get it correct, they'll win big. Part of the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge, so make sure you stick around for that. DeLonga boots that one into the end zone for a touchback. And Murphy, this, if I'm correct, Corey, this will be their 3rd time touching the ball offensively.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Al. A 2-play, 48-yard drive by the Davidson Warriors that was capped off by the phenomenal, sensational sophomore running back Derek Butler. I tell you, this is a young man, folks, that a couple of years from now you're going to be talking about for years to come. This young man is very special, and you see why when he got past the line of scrimmage.
Right.
But here it is, Murphy's going to have an opportunity to answer the call once again. You mentioned having 5 quarters of scoreless football. Again, that opening drive, they elapsed some 6.5 minutes, got close to the red zone area, but weren't able to finish. They have to finish drives and finish plays down and distance-wise.
Little toss out to the back. Camera forwards there slightly. I believe he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, Corey.
Yes, and that's just a break.
Ooh, yeah.
That the Panthers are willing to take. Corey Kelly was able to see the football in, and as he was advancing forward, it slipped out of his hand, came right to him. You don't want a turnover right there if you're the Panthers deep in your own territory, but 2nd down and 10 yards to go.
Fernando Brown in the backfield with Caleb Stewart getting his first start of the season. They hand it off to Brown, and he is brought down right there at the line of scrimmage, Corey. Jerry Williams. Jerry Williams on the tackle.
6'1", 174-pound senior on the stop. Defensive coordinator John Lambert looking to improve here on this shutout. You know, their first game of the year playing an outstanding Daphne Trojans team. Yes, this Davidson Warriors team gave up 54, but are going to get on the right side of the football tonight as they're holding this Murphy Panther team scoreless so far.
3rd and 10 coming up here for the Panthers. Stewart throws it out to Corey Kelly. Kelly's not going to have enough to get the first down as he is brought down at the 27-yard line. 4th down coming up for Murphy.
Cedric Easterling, the 5'9", 162-pound senior, on the stop for the Davidson defense. And his dad was a pretty good football player for the Shaw Rebels back in the day. So it is definitely genetics kicking in, and football's all in that Easterling family.
Looks like the punting team running onto the field. Notice Caleb Stewart will stay back to handle punting duties for the Panthers as he counting them up, making sure he has 11. Going back to receive at his own 40-yard line is Antonio Small for the Warriors. And Coach Rico Jackson, no surprise there, Corey, calls the timeout at 9:27 here in the first half.
Well, that's important that you regroup and you make sure you don't gap another special teams gap. You've already not fielded a football deep in your own territory on a kickoff, and it wound up leading to a safety the very next play. So here it is now. You go ahead and you get your composure about you if you're the Murphy Panthers special teams. You try to flip the field and at least go ahead and get an end-over-end roll to where you hopefully back the Davidson Warriors up to their own side of the field and make them sustain some type of drive.
Al Wheaton, Corley Bounty, Kimberly Dunn here at Clem Richardson Stadium. This is Baker's home stadium, home field. But as we told you throughout the telecast, Davidson will be playing their home games here at Baker's Stadium. So tonight hosting Murphy. Their 61st time playing each other. Murphy leads the series 39-20 with one tie. And last year, Murphy beat Davidson 22-7. But right now, the Warriors all on top of the Panthers, 16-0 here in the first half. Stewart about to punt. Gets a nice punt off. Small runs back, does not signal fair catch, and he's brought down at the 30-yard line.
Great gunner tackle by the Murphy Panthers by Dylan Robinson, the sophomore, doing an outstanding job on special teams, helping Murphy flip the field, making sure now the Davidson Warriors offense earns everything they get. And again, it's going to go back to offensive coordinator for Davidson, Chris Denny, saying, hey, do I want to give the ball to my sensational sophomore, or do I want to go ahead and get it out on the perimeter to my speedster wide receivers here?
DJ Butler lining up behind Fick. Ball on the 31-yard line. They give it to Butler. He's just plowing ahead, Corey, keeping those legs churning, keeping those legs moving. He picks up maybe 4 or 5. We'll call it 2nd and 5 coming up for the Warriors.
One of the things that you love to see, though, are all the white jerseys surrounding and swarming to the football here. It's going to bring up 2nd down and close to 6 yards to go for the Davidson Warriors. 8:51 remaining, but Davidson up early, 16-0 on the Murphy Panthers.
Both bands here tonight, so Corey, I think we're going to get us some halftime band performances just like we had last week with Theodore and Baker. Going back to Butler once again as he falls near the 39-yard line, about maybe 2 yards shy of picking up a first down. 3rd and short coming up for the Warriors.
Good job by the Panthers, really not letting him gain any momentum beyond the line of scrimmage. And anytime you're able to get white shirts in the backfield to disrupt the timing, that's very important. 3rd down, 4 yards to go now. We'll call it for the Davidson Warriors from right at the 33-yard line, their own 33-yard line.
Well, it's more so the 38, Corey, right there.
Excuse me, 38.
Yeah, I thought he was more so close to the 39, but they've placed that ball near the 38-yard line. So let's go with 3rd and 4 here. 7:55 remaining in the half. Game pretty much dominated by the Warriors. Nice little toss out there to Butler, but he's going to be short of the 40-yard line, so it's 4th down coming up for Davidson.
Michael Johnson from his strong safety position. The sophomore comes up and makes a nice tackle in the open field, and that's how you wrap up if you're the Murphy Panthers. And you're going to ask the Davidson Warriors here to put it on their foot of their punter. And DeLonga, I do believe, has all special teams duties tonight for the Warriors. And now you flip the field back if you're the Davidson Warriors. Give him some protection. We know this young man is one of the premier kickers in the city.
Before the ball game, we saw him booting a couple there, 40, 35 yards for the most part. It was more so the accuracy. He definitely has the leg, and a flag comes out from Tim Porter. Delay of game against the Warriors, so that'll push DeLonga back 5 yards.
Before the dead ball, delay of game, the offensive team's 5-yard penalty will remain 4th down.
Corey, I hope we didn't jinx Tim Porter's microphone. Earlier, he was sounding pretty good. He kind of stuttered a little bit there, man. Corey Kelly back to receive. Nice punt by DeLonga. Kelly feels it at the 30-yard line. Going to the Panther sideline, looking for blockers, going to reverse field and come back. But the Warriors are going to wrap him up at about the 37-yard line.
Good job of staying in your lane by the Davidson Warriors as Kelly tried to reverse field. Winston Dorsey, the 5'8", 190-pound senior on the stop for the Davidson Warriors.
When it comes to high school sports, scores, players, and the latest on all sports within Mobile County Public Schools, you can get informed on MCPSS Athletics with our buddy Brad Lowell, only on the MCPSS TV network. 1st and 10 coming up here for the Panthers. I believe they're going to spot this ball at the 27-yard line. 6:33 remaining here in the half. That was the first possession. Davidson did not score tonight, Corey. And speaking of Corey running that ball,
Brown on the guard lead play there.
Jazarian Hardy. I'm sorry, not Jazarian Hardy. Fernando Brown. I thought it was Corey Kelly there for a second, Corey.
Yeah, it's a big-time run by Fernando Brown. That's what you saw in the opening drive. Now Murphy looking to go tempo here as we're approaching the heat timeout in the 2nd quarter.
First down ball at their own 40-yard line. Going back to Brown once again as he goes up the middle near the midfield stripe, and the Warriors are going to stop him close to picking up another first down. 2 big runs by the Panthers offense.
You want to feed the back that wants to be fed and who is hungry. And in that situation, back-to-back positive runs by Fernando Brown. But another thing out to look at is the line of scrimmage here. Murphy had a good drive early, their first drive. Let's see if they can sustain that here.
Corey Kelly comes in now. They give it to him, and he just runs into a pile of Warriors right there at the 50-yard line. It may be enough to possibly get the first down. Let's see what the officials say.
They've been close enough to where they have
I think it may be 3rd. Tim Porter comes in to the middle of the pack. And, Cora, we may get our 2nd measurement of the season. We had one last week here against Theodore and Baker, so they're going to bring out the sticks and see how close they are for this first down. This is a big one here for the Panthers.
Absolutely. You want to pick this up because you start looking at where they're going to spot the football right here at midfield. So if they're able to pick up this first down, it'll be huge.
So we have a heat timeout right here of dead ball under 6 minutes. Let's take it down to the sideline. Kimberly Dunn has someone with her.
I do. I am here with the principal from Murphy, Mr. Clark. How are y'all doing tonight?
We're well. The game could be going better for us, but, you know, it's Friday night, football, fans in the stands, so we're excited to be here.
Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit about what's going on at Murphy?
Oh, yes, great things. You know, we just won the Napier Award for Best Public School Program, academic program for our IB program, so we're super excited about that, to brag about that and talk about the wonderful things that the IB program is doing for students. But we also have our UA Early College program that kids can go to the University of Alabama, and when they go there, they're going tuition free. So it's an exciting program for our students to be a part of. You know, we've added another business teacher, so our business program at Murphy is growing. So we got a lot of exciting things going on academically as well as athletically.
Yeah, so also you have your dual enrollment program. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that falls under our early college as well. We partner with Bishop and the University of Alabama, and kids can go to Bishop. They get their Englishes, they can get some histories. The other nice thing about being partners with Bishop is that they can get their CTE courses through Bishop and earn a credential while they're getting high school credit and college credit at the same time.
Yeah, I know I took advantage of some of those options while I was in high school. So if parents want to learn about some of the things that y'all offer, where can they get that information?
They can get it through our website, or they can contact myself or Lauren Rogers, our academy specialist. She does a really good job of promoting our programs and getting the information and steering you in the right direction for whatever program you're excited to be a part of.
Yes, and now at your school, what are the signature academies that you offer for your students?
Our signature academy is our International Baccalaureate IB program, and then our UA Early College program.
All right, so it sounds like a lot of exciting things are going on at Murphy, not just academically, but also in your athletics as well. And so we are wishing you all the best in every avenue.
Oh, thanks. We're excited, and Panther Pride, the Murphy way.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. Talking with our principal, Sean Clark there. Murphy did pick up the first down, so it's 2nd and 9 here on the Davidson 46-yard line. Corey Kelly picked up that first down, and that appears to be a live ball, Corey. That is a live ball, and taking it to the house, that appears to be a touchdown for Micah Brown, or will they say he was down, or was it incomplete?
We had a whistle on the far sidelines.
Okay, but on this side, the official, he did not signal like that's an incomplete pass. He never gave the signal, so let's see what Tim Porter and the guys sorted out here.
On the far
that
sideline.
Official right there. But he just stepped out. He did step out.
Far sidelines is where the action took place, though. That's what's important, because that's where the whistle came from.
Right.
And
no flags over there either, Cora.
Though the whistle was blown on that far sideline, it'll be interesting to see what is sorted out.
Incomplete. And Coach Cawley is hot, Corey. He is totally upset with that call.
He wants a timeout, and he wants
He's
to talk
gonna get it.
to the near side official about exactly how that wound up being called an incomplete pass from the opposite side, and that's exactly what he wants to talk about.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you're an official. You're a basketball official. Kind of, you know, you're on the other side of the court, and this guy's closer to the action. You know, give us an idea, Corey.
You know, the bad thing is the far official did not see what the closest boundary official did see.
Right.
He signaled that that was a lateral. And we saw that 1 week ago in the Theodore versus Baker game, to where the officials, we had a great camera angle right down the sidelines, and we saw that it was a lateral pass. The official signaled that it was a lateral pass here as well, but on the far sideline, we had some type of call that negated that. They're calling it an incomplete pass. There's no replay available besides ours, so it's going to be an incomplete pass on the play.
Got to thank Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives. A portion of subs purchased at Firehouse will go to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. So thanks to Jim and Susie Sherman at the Greenlight Road Firehouse Subs location. Also thanks to Bishop State with 4 city campuses and offering students a quality and affordable education. Visit bishop.edu to learn more. Bishop State, a great place to start. And thanks to our folks over there at BSN Sports, where you can get team apparel and equipment, whatever you need, they have it. BSN Sports, the heart of the game. Visit them online at bsnsports.com. So it is 3rd and long here, Corey, coming up.
And what I love is the fact that Coach Cawley summoned as many officials as he could for his beckoning. The far official on the far sidelines wanted him to talk to him as well to see exactly what they had going up. But now it's going to be 3rd down and long for the Panthers.
Caleb Stewart pumps it, pulls it back in, cannot connect with Jalen Edney. It's 4th down and long coming up here for the Panthers. Definitely they'll be going for this one, sitting in no man's land. No need to punt. You're down 16 points. You want points on the board, is what Rico Jackson told us earlier in the week.
Well, again, trailing 16-0 with 3:36 remaining in the second quarter. You have the football in Davidson's territory, so you really don't have anything to lose. So roll the dice right here and run your best route.
Stewart lofts it up, almost an interception, but it was 4th down, And in hindsight, Corey, you're better to drop that one because you get the ball right here at your own 46-yard line rather than trying to get more yards.
You would have padded your own personal stats, but when you look from a self-sacrifice position, you either knock that ball down or you go ahead and take the interception, and it's the equivalent of a punt. But because now you have outstanding field position, getting the football right at your own 46-yard line, if you're the Davidson Warrior offense, you want to try to chew 3:27 off of this clock and try to take all the momentum that Murphy may try to get here as the quarter ends away from the Panthers.
Warriors back on the field, taking over at their own 46-yard line. They have completely dominated the first half here in this ball game, putting up 16 points, 2 touchdowns and a safety. Antonio Small comes in motion. They can't get the play off. Flag on the play. So a false start against the Warriors.
One of the things that you do see in this contest, though, are both teams in the shotgun. You don't really see a lot of under center action unless it's a short yardage situation, less than 2 yards to go. But
false start. The offensive team, 5-yard penalty will remain first down.
Both teams very comfortable. Again, 5 yards back in the backfield with that center to quarterback exchange. Being comfortable with that cadence and that rhythm.
So now the Warriors at their own 41-yard line after that penalty. 3:27 remains in the half. Don't forget the Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge coming up at halftime with Kimberly Dunn. Also bands, and on the move right there, just between the hands of Antonio Small. Corey, he could have taken that one for 6, man.
The 5'8", 143-pound senior had the football go right in between his hands. That was 6 on the board for sure.
Yeah.
Bryce Fick put that on the money, and that's a young catch. Then Antonio Small, how do you get his confidence back? You go back to him sometime during this possession, especially if you're able to pick up a fresh set of downs here at 2nd down and 15 yards to go.
Small caught one for a score last week from Fick, so no surprise if they go back to him again as he's lined up right there in a double stack. They hand it off to the back, Justin Poe, as he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. So we're looking at 3rd and long coming up here for the Warriors, maybe about 3rd and 11.
Poe and Butler by running back committee for head coach Rick Cawley and offensive coordinator Chris Denny. Again, on the season have only played one contest.
That's
last
all.
week against the Daphne Trojans. Scored 14 points against the Trojans, but have already put up 16 tonight against the Murphy Panthers.
All right, here's a play, 3rd and 11. Fick rolling out. Just trying to keep it stay in bounds and let the clock continue to run. He'll get close to the original line of scrimmage at about the 46 or 47-yard line. It'll be 4th down as DeLongo runs onto the field to punt this one away for the Warriors.
Travell Jackson, the defensive end, the senior, comes away with a huge stop for the Panthers. And, you know, the Murphy Panthers will have an opportunity here if Davidson decides to punt this football to come away with another offensive possession, and it'll really be a 2-minute offense here. I talked about momentum trying to be established for the Panthers, and this is the way to do it.
Timeout called by Murphy here at 2:09 remaining in the half. Al Whedon, Corey LeBounty, Kimberly Dunn down on the sidelines. It's Murphy versus Davidson here on the campus of Baker High School. We do appreciate you for joining us for the contest tonight. Davidson dressing out about 80 players, Corey. They have 22 seniors, returning only 3 on offense and 4 on defense. Coach Carley told us on the phone the other day, he says his overall numbers are up for the school and for players, so he has a lot to pull from. They're just small this season. It won't be small at halftime because we're going to get a big winner with the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Stick around as Kimberly Dunn tries to get a spectator a nice prize pack from Chick-fil-A if they can answer the trivia challenge correctly. So that'll be coming up at halftime between the bands. I know the Panthers will be marching and the Warriors will be marching. Corey, as we came up, you could see both schools loading up all the band equipment before the ball game here.
Yeah, I mean, a spectacular amount of work put in by both of these bands. Looking forward to seeing them at halftime.
2 receivers back. Low snap to DeLonga, but he gets it off. Murphy's just going to stay away from it and down that ball at about the 17-yard line. So 1:57 remains in the half. Murphy getting the ball back, down 16 points, trying not to have, as you call it, Corey, a 6th shutout quarter this year so far.
Yeah, you want to have momentum going into not
I'm sorry,
only
a 10th shutout quarter.
Well, you don't want to have lack of momentum going into the second half, and here's how you gain it. We've seen a lot of football games to where one play or score before the quarter can go ahead and propel you into the second half of action. So that's something that I know head coach Rico Jackson's looking forward to, but you have to put the ball in your playmakers' hands. And who is that for the Murphy Panthers? It's definitely number 8, Corey Kelly, and you'd like to see Greg Robinson try to get his hands, or your speedster, Jalen Edney, also.
Kelly in the backfield, play clock under 10. Stewart looks a little confused, trying to get his formation lined up. 3-2, can they get the snap off? They do. And Stewart trying to connect with the receiver downfield. Incomplete.
Pass is incomplete, but there is a flag on the play. Number 5, Michael.
Intended for Greg Robinson.
Greg Robinson, number 9 there, Corey, but we have flags on the play.
But that's what you want. Go vertical, go to your playmakers. This is your biggest wide receiver on the field. You're giving your opportunity, Caleb Stewart, the 6', 206-pound senior, an opportunity to show off that arm, and the accuracy was there, and the pass interference call is not a spot foul. Instead, it's a 15-yard penalty.
Have the replay coming up right here. Shows the arm of Stewart as he gets it downfield. So, Corey, if that's a 15-yarder, that's a long fit. Well, they haven't marched it off yet. I was like, where are the players going there for a second? So there we go. We're at 1st and 10 at the 40. I think a lot of the players, Corey, thought it may have been a spot foul. They were running downfield.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you love the NFL and you watch the NFL. You would hope if you're a Panther fan that that's what would happen. But it's a fresh set of downs, still plenty of time remaining, 1:49. Your 2-minute offense execution is going to be critical for the Murphy Panthers.
Good shot of Stewart right there. Trying to go across the middle. I don't know if that pass was deflected or not. It looked like a failing duck there, Corey.
It did. It wobbled in the air, and there's not much of a breeze here to control that. So you look at Caleb Stewart not really having an opportunity to put any oomph on that pass, and he's lucky that ball was knocked down and not intercepted by his own wide receiver. Came up a little bit short, but again, 1:39 remaining here in the second quarter of action. When you're trailing 16-0, you take those shots, and you probably have one timeout remaining in your pocket, and now you're just trying to get the ball into the hands of your playmakers, Corey Kelly, Greg Robinson, and Jalen Edney.
Trip receivers here at the bottom. Edney's waiting for it. Gets it to Jazarian Hardy, and he is in Warriors territory as he is wrapped up at about the 31-yard line. Big catch right there by Hardy, and the Panthers on the move.
That's a huge play for the Panthers as there are no flags on the play. It allows you to move the sticks.
Oh, there's one, Corey. There it is.
Back at the 42-yard line, the flag was thrown. Must be some type of holding against the Panthers on the near sidelines.
Right down the replay at the bottom of the screen, so it's definitely being marched back.
That's unfortunate because Caleb Stewart did a great job buying extra time, wanted to check down, and instead goes to his halfback, Jazarian Hardy.
So we had a legal man downfield.
And that's what happens when you do buy time.
Yep.
And now he's downfield. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay the down.
So that'll push the Panthers back to their own 35-yard line. So we'll take that play off the books for Hardy and Stewart with that connection. 2nd and 15 as we hear our buddies over there at 96.5 The Crab calling their first ball game tonight, Corey, on the radio. Play clock under 5 for Caleb Stewart. And a timeout has been called by Davidson at 1:03 remaining here in the half. So the chess match continues. We'll come back and play some more of it. Well, we actually call it football. It's the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Hello, I'm Katrina Frazier.
And I'm Deborah Robinson, and we would like to be your next realtors. As homeowners, we know how confusing it can be searching to find that perfect home that fits your needs and budget.
For that reason, it's important to have a reliable partner to represent you and to be there for every step of your home buying process. You'll find the services offered through Berkshire Hathaway, Home Services, Cooper & Company Realtors are second to none.
So whether you are buying or selling your home, call us today and let our experience work for you.
For Quentin Howard, our producer, Wade Ford, director, I'm Al Weeden, Corley Bounty on the sidelines. It's Kimberly Dunn, and we appreciate you watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Bishop State Community College. Strategic timeout call right there by Coach Rick Cawley. 2nd and 15 coming up for the Panthers, as he wants to make sure he has the right personnel, the right defensive call. And that call right there goes to Fernando Brown. He fumbles it. It goes out of bounds, so he'll be down at the 42-yard line. 3rd down and about 8 coming up for the Panthers.
But if you're able to check down Caleb Stewart to one of your backs, that's important too, because again, you're not losing yardage, but the clock still runs, so you're on this 2-minute offense. Hurry up still.
Stewart looking for someone to connect with, has plenty of time. He needs to get rid of it. He is sacked, Corey, right there at the 28-yard line.
Jerry Williams.
Jerry Williams again.
That's something that you don't want to happen if you're Caleb Stewart. He just needed to go ahead and check down to the back when he was open to Corey Kelly and was not able to do so. Excuse me, that back you would check down would have been Fernando Brown, but the clock's still running here. 9 seconds left before we go to halftime.
And the play clock is at 20, so Coach Rico Jackson won't have to call another play here, Corey, as he'll go in the locker room and talk with his kids. Down 16-0. Kimberly Dunn's going to try to catch up with Rick Cawley so we can talk to him before we go into the half. Speaking of the half, a very interesting first half by the Davidson Warriors.
Yeah, 10 scoreless quarters so far for this Murphy Panthers offense. They had a great opening drive that took up 6.5 minutes.
Sure did.
But weren't able to capitalize. Now you're starting to look at going into halftime, making the adjustments. You're only down 16-0. You have an opportunity here to kick off to the Davidson Warriors, so you're talking to your defense saying, hey, find a way to get us a stop, to get us a little momentum in the second half of action.
I think of the words of a head coach, John McKenzie, at the Blunt Viger game, where he said it's going to take more than 13 points to beat us. So I'm pretty sure Rico Jackson is telling the Panthers, look, we're only down 16, man. We can get this. Technically, that's 2 scores, Corey.
You know, a week ago against Foley, when you start looking at this Murphy Panther team, they were only down 13-0 as well. And they had an opportunity, again, to open up the second half and get some offensive going, and they weren't able to do so. So, again, it's going to be about the second half adjustments that the Panthers are going to make. They know they haven't scored. That is even more motivation for them here in the second half of this contest to do very well offensively. But it's going to start with getting a defensive stop and hoping momentum carries over. Anything positive to get that sideline and get that crowd energized.
Let's take it down to the sideline. Kimberly Dunn has Warriors head coach Rick Cawley.
Coach Cawley, how do you feel about your team's performance so far in tonight's game?
Well, we started a little sluggish on defense. They got, a few first downs, but we tightened up, and, our kids have good energy tonight. They're playing hard, and that's about all you can ask for. We had the touchdown called back, and then we drop another sure touchdown. So, we could be sitting here at 30-something to nothing. So I'm happy, but, we left points on the board, and you can't do that with a team that's got athletes like they got. They got players that can go.
Yeah. And just like you mentioned, those couple of mistakes, what else does your team need to improve on coming into the second half?
Just consistency, that's it. It goes down to everything in life. The more consistent you are, the more successful you're going to be. I don't care what your job is. So right now they're high school football players, and if they're consistent doing that, then they're going to be better high school football players.
All right, well, good luck to you and your team tonight.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kimberly. It is halftime. Davidson is on top 16-0. We'll be back and show you the bands during the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Bishop State.
When we say Bishop State Community College is a great place to start, we really mean it. Want to major in psychology, engineering, criminal justice, English, history, or something else? Take your general education courses with us, then transfer your credits to the four-year university of your choice. Want to learn a trade and go straight into the workforce? We have the programs and the training to help you land a high-wage and high-demand career. Save time and thousands while conveniently taking classes safely online or on campus. Register now, bishop.edu.
It's the 2021 MCPSS Virtual Signature Academy Showcase, October 19th from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Register at signatureacademyshowcase.vfairs.com. Representatives from all 12 high schools will be on hand to talk about our academies. This event is open to all 7th and 8th graders and their parents. So register today and have your questions answered regarding your child's transition into high school and into a life-changing career path. It's the 2021 MCPSS Virtual Signature Academy Showcase, October 19th from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m.
This is a program for any middle school student who's actually behind. This opportunity offers kids a chance to do 2 grades in 1 year.
If it wasn't for Star Academy, I would still be in 8th grade and probably still struggling.
We are one-on-one. We have small classrooms, and we're able to give students that personal touch, that personal attention.
I know I'm coming to see good teachers, good attitude, and also they're here to teach us what we need to learn.
It is halftime. Let's take it down to the field and listen to the mighty Murphy Marching Panthers.
of my child's school is probably one of the best ones I could have picked in Mobile. She's in the PACE program. The teachers are phenomenal. The principal, couldn't ask for a better principal. The research that I had done myself, I believe the quality of education in Mobile County Public School System is excellent. For me and my child, I'm going to stick with the public school system. I think it's the way to go.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-age children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
It is halftime for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, and it's now time for the Chick-fil-A Trivia Challenge. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn.
Wait, can we be in it? Just her this time, sorry. We are here with our Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge, and we have our very first person who's going to do our Trivia Challenge of the season. Are you ready to do it for us? Yeah, I'm so excited, and she's going to win this gift pack from Chick-fil-A full of goodies and some Chick-fil-A gift cards, so we're really excited about that. Oh my goodness. Do you like eating Chick-fil-A? Yeah, okay, so tell me, what grade are you in and how old are you?
I'm in first grade.
And how old are you?
6.
6 years old. That's such a good age. And where did you tell me that you go to elementary school? Where do you go to school?
Gilliard.
Gilliard. That's a great elementary school. And is this mom that's standing with you?
What?
Is this mom that's standing with you?
Yes.
Yes. Are you going to share some Chick-fil-A with her?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Are you ready for our question? Okay. It says, there are more than 50,000 students enrolled in Mobile Public Schools. How many high schools are in the district? Okay, so is there 8 high schools, 12 high schools, 15, or 25? What do you think? That's kind of a hard question, but I think you can get it. Do you think it's 8, 12, 15, or 25?
8.
8. Oh, that is so close. Add just a little bit more. 8, 12, 15, or 25?
25.
Oh, not that high, not that high. Do you think you can help her out, Mom?
12.
12. Do you think it's 12?
Yes.
Good job. There are 12 high schools in the district. Congratulations, you're a winner. Woo! Look at that. Look, they're clapping for you. Good job. And you're our first winner of our Chick-fil-A Trivia Challenge. Congratulations.
Let's take it down to the field and check in with the Davidson Warriors marching band. The great sounds of the Davidson Marching Warrior Band as they put on a great halftime performance here at Clem Richardson Stadium. Right now, let's take it down to C.A. Douglas Field. We got to check in with Mike Hearn to get an update on the Theodore Alma Bryant game. How's it looking, Mike?
Well, if you notice the scoreboard behind me, if you can make it out, you'll see that it's been all Theodore here in the first half. 49-0 at halftime. We had a blocked punt that William James recovered for a touchdown. We've had 3 short touchdown passes from Demetrius Pogue, and we had about a 10-yard touchdown run by Tavares Sullivan. The last touchdown from Pogue came from about 18 yards out with less than a minute to play after a successful Theodore onside kick. Once again, all Theodore here, 49-0 at halftime.
Mike, no surprise you saying those 3 names, Demetrius Pogue, Will James, and Kirsten Rogers, 3 big players for our broadcast last week against Baker. So I see they're continuing on to do their thing.
High school 2021 Hurricane Band.
You're watching MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Keep it right here. You're watching MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
When we say Bishop State Community College is a great place to start, we really mean it. Want to major in psychology, engineering, criminal justice, English, history, or something else? Take your general education courses with us, then transfer your credits to the 4-year university of your choice. Want to learn a trade and go straight into the workforce? We have the programs and the trainings to help you land a high-wage and high-demand career. Save time and thousands while conveniently taking classes safely online or on campus. Register now, bishop.edu.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we believe it starts with us. That's why we offer Signature Academies.
I'm Tracy Train, and I'm in the Healthcare and Dental Academy at Theodore High School. In the Dental Academy, I'm working alongside dental professionals getting hands-on training from those already working in the industry. Shadowing them on the job makes me want to work even harder because now I know what I want to be.
Signature Academies are open to all students in Mobile County Public High Schools. To find out more, visit mcpss.com.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-age children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Bishop State Community College. Halftime wrapping up. Corley Bownley, let's take a look at some of the statistics that happened in the first half here tonight. Davidson pretty much in control of a lot.
Yeah, I mean, when you start talking about the Davidson Warriors offense, they didn't have the first possession of the game. Murphy did, and they chewed up a lot of that clock during the first quarter, some 6.5 minutes, but did not put any points on the board. And you turn around and you look at the other hand, Davidson Warriors were able to do so. So rushing yards, Davidson has 128 at halftime, Murphy 75. Only 3 passing total yards for the Davidson Warriors, 26 for the Panthers. The total yardage close to being the same, 131 to 101, no turnovers. Penalties have not been a huge factor. 5 for 21 for the Panthers, but you're looking at where they occurred on first and second down, which takes away from any type of momentum that you can get. And you start talking about Derek Butler, the running back for Davidson, 76 yards and 1 touchdown. And for Jacody Harris, 49 yards, 1 touchdown. Also, excuse me, not Jacody Harris. You're looking at Justin Poe. And then when you flip around for the Murphy Panthers, 4 out of 11, Caleb Stewart for only 26 yards. And that goes back to the Panthers having a backup quarterback, as early Derek Davis tore his ACL, the senior quarterback for the Murphy Panthers in the first game of the season against James Clemens, to his testament. He was able to finish that game
That's right.
with a torn ACL.
Unbelievable.
And that just
Corey.
showed a lot of guts, but they're really missing his ability to throw the football. But when you start talking about my checklist for the Murphy Panthers, they had to have some type of passing game and be efficient. Right now, only 4 out of 11,
Right.
so they have to step that up in the second half. They also need to eliminate turnovers. They've done that, not turn the ball over yet. They have to finish drives.
Got
That's going
to.
to be the name of the key to the game here in the second half of finishing those drives, especially if you get in the red zone. For the Davidson Warriors, you have to prevent those penalties. They've had 3 penalties called on them so far. Special teams play, we saw them come up large, pinning Murphy deep in their own territory at the 1.5-yard line, and then Warriors wrapping up. They must continue to tackle well in the second half, but right here as Murphy kicks off to Davidson to start the second half of action, you have to come away with the stop to gain that momentum, and I know that's what they emphasized and harped on at halftime.
There's a shot right there of Edie Bingy, the kicker for the Panthers. He's a senior. And back to receive for Davidson, Justin Poe, Derek Butler, and Antonio Small, as the Warriors up 16-0 over the Panthers as we're about to start the third quarter.
And as we're going to start it, some local score updates. UMS right up 24-0 in the second quarter against LaFleur. Spanish Fort leads Gulf Shores 21-7 at halftime, and St. Paul's leads Williamson 10-6 at halftime.
There's the kick from Bingy. Poe brings it in. And the Panthers going to wrap him up at about the 28-yard line.
Rashad McWhirter on the stop along with Michael Johnson. That's just great special teams play of making sure you wrap up. Here's how you get your momentum now. You don't want to allow a big busted run here by either one of these backs, Poe or Butler, who are very capable once they get past the line of scrimmage, turning it into that second and third gear. Now, here it is. Deep in your own territory, probably right around the 28-yard line officially of the Warriors. Try to get them in negative down and distance situations.
Butler in the backfield. We seen him take one to the house for 48 yards earlier to pick up a score. Hand off to him again. And he's going to, I believe, Corey, a slight loss, maybe just to the line of scrimmage, second and long coming up for the Warriors.
And that's exactly what you have to do. You have to start plugging up that line of scrimmage, not allowing them to have much gain, and that's a negative yardage situation. So, again, start playing with a lot more energy. If you're the Panthers, get excited on your sidelines, get excited if you're a player, and just people start feeding off of that energy because it's contagious.
Speaking of plug, big number 53, Malachi Howard coming over from offense, playing defense right now for the Panthers. Clogged up that middle on that last run. Fick throws it out, trying to connect with Cortez Jackson, incomplete. It's going to be third and long coming up for the Warriors.
But if you're the Murphy Panthers, now you're at third down and 11 yards to go. This is the type of down and distance to where exactly you want, because you hold them here to where they don't move the sticks. It forces DeLonga to punt the football for the Warriors if you're able to hold one more play, and you'll get outstanding field position, exactly what the doctor ordered if the Murphy Panthers can get a stop here on third down and long.
Defensive coordinator Teller Stone pulls Howard out of the game, brings in Tyler Thornton from his will linebacker position. Panthers adding a little speed right here. Third and long coming up for the Warriors. Big play here early in the third quarter. Fick has time. Tries to go over the middle to connect with Justin Poe, and flags come in, Corey. I thought that was after the ball had passed Poe, but, you know, I'm not on the field, Corey. I ain't on the field.
If you're the defensive back, you just have to go ahead and continue to keep your hands in the air, because you don't even want that official to be able to go to his flag and be able to throw it, because he did fall to the ground.
Right.
The defender did cause him to go to the ground. Now, it's not a matter whether that ball was catchable or not. It's a matter of whether you interfered with the offensive player. And you look at the time that Fick had. Anytime you're able to spin that football, it was a good throw, but I know the receiver was not going to make that catch. You just leave him alone. But I like that Poe showing his versatility out of the backfield also as a wide receiver. The bad part about that, what does it do? It gives the Davidson Warriors an automatic first down.
That's a Davidson Warrior first down. Ball at the 42-yard line now. That was possibly a 3-and-out that the Panthers could have capitalized on. But, Corey, you talked about those penalties. As they rear their ugly head once again.
Yeah, you definitely wanted to stay away from that. But now you got to find a way to play the next play. You stay away from dwelling on giving up the automatic first down, and you try to find a way to put the Davidson Warriors back in long yardage down and distance situation. Control of the line of scrimmage is going to be important.
First down. We'll have a sideline warning on the white team. First down.
So a first sideline warning issued against the Murphy Panthers. 1st and 10, ball sitting at the 42-yard line of Davidson. Looks like possibly a false start. I think our statistician Matt Moore was on top of that one, Corey, and he's correct.
Absolutely.
That'll push the Warriors back 5 yards.
And that's what you want if you're Murphy, creating long yardage down and distance situations. Some other scores from around the Mobile Baldwin County areas. Daphne leading Fairhope 17-10.
False start on the offensive team. It's a 5-yard penalty. Will remain first down.
Now, is that the California Dreaming Bowl, Corey?
No, it's not. They had that earlier in the year.
Is that the Baumhauer Bowl?
I do believe that it is some type
it's
of bowl.
some kind of bowl.
And T.R. Miller leading 22-0 over Cottage, and Viger leading W.S. Neal 16-0 also.
1st and 15 coming up here for the Warriors. Justin Poe in motion on the jet sweep. He slips. I think his knee is down, Corey.
Wasn't able to get that momentum moving forward that he wanted to without getting his footing. And Poe does slip. The 6 foot, 190-pound senior running back. It's going to bring negative down and distance situation still again.
No gain. So we'll blame that one on Hurricane Ida in the rain, Corey. Because he was trying to make his cut off the jet sweep, and just the turf must have got him, man.
Couldn't turn the corner on that one. You're looking at 2nd down and close to 16 yards to go, and there's going to be an injured timeout. And it may be a cramp because you saw him.
Cam Davis, number 3 for the Panthers.
Get a little in the situation earlier, you saw him kind of go down, and now he's officially down. But as the officials call the timeout and Murphy goes to look at him, we'll take an official timeout here.
We'll take a break. See you on the other side. MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Bishop State.
Comes to getting your child through school, at times it can be overwhelming.
What school to choose, what classes to take, how to apply for college.
To help answer these questions and more, we would like to invite you to join us on Parent Connect as we take an in-depth look at some of the issues and concerns you may have about your child's education.
So get connected with Parent Connect, weekly right here on the MCPSS TV network.
When we say Bishop State Community College is a great place to start, we really mean it. Want to major in psychology, engineering, criminal justice, English, history, or something else? Take your general education courses with us, then transfer your credits to the four-year university of your choice. Want to learn a trade and go straight into the workforce? We have the programs and the trainings to help you land a high-wage and high-demand career. Save time and thousands while conveniently taking classes safely online or on campus. Register now, bishop.edu.
Hello, my name is Abby Dinkins. My children go to E.R. Dixon Elementary School. The education that my kids are getting, it's tremendous. There's one time that I thought about homeschooling my kids because I wasn't sure, we're new here. And when I enroll my children at the public school, and I'm just blown away because the teachers are nice, the curriculum itself is different. I believe in Mobile County public school education for preparing my children for life.
Well, welcome back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Al Wheaton, Corey Bound, and Cam Davis still down on the field, so we haven't resumed playback. But Corey, while we have a break right here, just have to acknowledge the situation. Yesterday we found out about the death of a former Murphy Panther, probably one of the top 5 high school players here in the Mobile area, Keith McCants. Yeah, Such sad news to hear that.
Keith McCants is a Murphy legend without question, and you look at him being drafted overall number four by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Right. And you know the lineage. Sometimes when you're able to do that, you talk about Robert Brazile and him being able to go ahead and set the tone for Viger and local Mobile players. He's a Murphy legend, Keith McCants is. And, again, just a tremendous loss for the Murphy Panther family, the University of Alabama family, and hopefully soon Keith McCants will be inducted in the College Football Hall of Fame, and he'll have another cap to that beautiful, beautiful career that he had. And again, Keith McCants, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with his family.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to acknowledge that right there as we had a small break here in action. So we're going to get some schedules ready to take a look at Davidson's schedule, also Murphy's schedule as well, as they continue to tend to Cam Davis down on the field, because we know it is a 7A Region 1. It's a tough region, Corey, a 9-team region, and big contest tonight for both of these teams. We know Murphy missed the playoffs by one game last year, and we can say it probably came to that Baker loss they had. Take a look at the Davidson Warriors schedule here. They're going to be going to Enterprise next week. They'll host Fairhope, and I'll also look at the back end there. I'm sorry, we're not hosting. They'll be hosting Enterprise and hosting Fairhope, and then they'll take it on the road to Saraland. But look at the remaining contests, 5 on the back end: Theodore, Foley, Bryant, MGM, and Baker.
You just have to make sure that you try to take care of your home field advantage. And tonight, so far in the first half of action, they've been able to do so. And if you start moving forward to the second part of the season, you know, you do have a lot of region games that are going to be at home for you. 3 at home, absolutely. So you just want to try to tackle, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? Right. It starts with this huge region contest tonight.
Take a look at the Murphy Panthers schedule, their remaining schedule, and tonight they're here at Davidson. Now they'll get MGM next week, then they'll have to face Theodore, and of course the battle for the Cannon as they will be playing McGill. They'll be hosting that game at Ladd Stadium. So for Coach Rico Jackson, you know, it's right here in the middle for him, Corey. You got Theodore, Baker, Bryant, and then on the back end, Daphne and Fairhope coming up. So a tough road to hoe here for the Panthers.
Yeah, again, if you're the Murphy Panthers, you're just hoping that you can get a little momentum moving forward next week for MGM. And this game's far from over, as sometimes when you have injury, it motivates your team as well. But our thoughts and prayers right now are for Cam Davis, injured on the field.
That's right. We'll be back with more action. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Bishop State.
It's the 2021 MCPSS Virtual Signature Academy Showcase, October 19th from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Register at signatureacademyshowcase.vfairs.com. Representatives from all 12 high schools will be on hand to talk about our academies. This event is open to all 7th and 8th graders and their parents. So register today and have your questions answered regarding your child's transition into high school and into a life-changing career path. It's the 2021 MCPSS Virtual Signature Academy Showcase, October 19th from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-age children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
Hello, my name is Kyla Brown, and I am Redefining Ready. I'm taking AP and dual enrollment courses that will help me earn college credits while in high school. I am studying dental science that will assist me in my career choice of becoming a dentist. I am a Student Government Association representative and actively involved in other activities around my school and community. And this is how I am redefining ready.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose. Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
Welcome back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Responders still taking a look at Cam Davis down on the field. So while we have a break in action, we're going to put up the Alabama Sports Writers Association state polls. Take a look at some of the poll action this week, Corey. In 4A, the top two teams remain the same from last week, but Williamson's loss to Faith Academy drops them down 4 spots to 7. Viger moves up 3 spots from 8 to 5, and the Jackson Aggies move up 2 spots to 8. Outside the top 10 and picking up 3 votes is Mobile Christian. And speaking of Jackson, Corey, big win last night. The Fighting Philip Rivers is St. Michael. They picked a big upset over Jackson last night. Get the win.
The Cardinals are playing well early. It wasn't a fluke the way that they beat McIntosh. They're able to go ahead and win that game at home, and that's a huge win for Philip Rivers and his Cardinal program.
That's right. Their first ever region win. Let's take it up to 5A. The top 3 here are the same from last week. St. Paul's lost last week, drops them down 5 spots to 9. Up 1 spot to 5 is Faith Academy. And UMS Wright makes their first appearance in the poll at number 10. Check this out, Corey. St. Paul's hasn't started a season 0-3 since 1984, and I believe that last score update you gave us, they were on top of Williamson. So Coach Steve Mask trying to pick up his first win of the season tonight.
Yeah, it's very imperative that, you know, the Williamson Lions don't get caught looking ahead to St. Michael, and you can't look ahead when you have an 0-2 Steve Mask St. Paul's team, because they're the defending state champions, and they're looking for that first win, and Williamson was able to have a great win in week number 0 against Viger. And last week it was a tough loss against Faith Academy, and now they're having their hands full with St. Paul's. But Williamson's schedule is real tough.
Let's take it up to 6A. Spanish Fort still sits atop the poll, and the rest of the top 5 remain unchanged. Opelika and Eufaula fall to 9 and 10 after losses last week, allowing Hartselle, Homewood, and Hillcrest Tuscaloosa to move into spots 6, 7, and 8. McGill is still on the outside looking in, picking up 2 votes. And lastly, we'll take it up to the 7A poll. This one was the easiest of all weeks. No changes at all in the poll. All teams won last week, so no movement here. Fairhope did pick up 1 vote, and Baker picked up 2 votes. As you see, Theodore and Daphne right there sitting at 6 and 7, and Theodore all atop Alba Bryant, when Mike Herndon told us they were up 49-0 when we checked in with him, Corey.
Theodore continues to roll, and, you know, Bart Sessions is trying to get good footing down on the bayou, and he will continue to do so, but Theodore is just such a jackhammer in 7A, as evident as their come-behind victory 1 week ago here in a region win against Baker. And they're definitely deserving of that 6th rank. And Daphne was able to beat Davidson a week ago, and
sure did.
They have a big game today as well. So a lot of great games to be played in 7A classification, but right where the polls are, you know, 1 and 2, there's no question about who's 1 and 2 in 7A.
All right, we're going to take a break and come back as responders continue to look at Cam Davis down on the field. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
The Environmental Studies Center is a natural sciences education facility designed to provide unique learning experiences. In addition, wildlife rehabilitation plays a vital role each day at the center. Featuring more than 500 acres of rich woodlands, the center affords teachers, students, and the general public an opportunity to experience firsthand the natural environment. Environmental Studies Center. It starts with us in the Mobile County Public Schools. The Mobile County Public Schools Signature Academies program offers a variety of specialized curriculum for highly interested and motivated students. These academies provide students with choices ranging from aviation to healthcare, advanced information technology to international studies, from engineering to coastal studies. These high-quality, hands-on programs prepare students for careers readily available in Mobile County. Signature Academies program. It starts with us.
When we say Bishop State Community College is a great place to start, we really mean it. Want to major in psychology, engineering, criminal justice, English, history, or something else? Take your general education courses with us, then transfer your credits to the four-year university of your choice. Want to learn a trade and go straight into the workforce? We have the programs and the trainings to help you land a high-wage and high-demand career. Save time and thousands while conveniently taking classes safely online or on campus. Register now, bishop.edu.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose. Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
Welcome back to Clem Richardson Stadium. Al Whedon, Corley Bounty down on the sidelines. Kimberly Dunn. Looks like we're close to action resuming, Corey. We know it took a while, but we want people to understand that when you have an injury that is taking place like that, you want to do all precautions to make sure everything's okay. One thing they had to do, they had to take the young man's jersey off and also get his shoulder pads off as well, Corey, to stabilize him.
Absolutely, stabilizing him. And, you know, shout out to Newman's ambulance, making sure that he's going to get to the hospital safely. And, you know, anytime you have a delay of game like that for any prolonged period, it's interesting to see how both teams respond. Murphy, let's see if they can respond to their teammate as they were huddled up in prayer on the sidelines for him just moments ago.
Second and long, ball on the 37-yard line of Davidson as they come out with the big back, and there he is, Justin Poe, and he's going to take that one to the house, Corey. That is a touchdown for the Davidson Warriors.
A huge burst once he gets past the line of scrimmage, and we mentioned how would both teams respond after the injury. Murphy had put Davidson in a long down and distance situation, but Justin Poe, the 6-foot, 190-pound senior, he gets past the line of scrimmage, and he's off to the races. He gets to the house, makes that call, and says, "Mama, I matched my number 6. I put 6 on the board."
He definitely did. Looks like about a 63-yard run there from Poe. DeLonga on for the extra point. He puts it up, and it is good, and Davidson has opened up this ball game. Let's take it down and check in with our buddy Mike Herndon once again down there at C.A. Douglas Field. See what's going on between Theodore and Alma Bryant. What's up, Mike?
Well, Theodore has picked right back up where they left off in the second half here. Got about a 40-yard touchdown run from Braden Jenkins. Added the 2-point conversion. They're up 57-0 with about 6 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Wow, appreciate that, Mike.
You know, one of the interesting things, Eric Collier used to be the head coach at Alma Bryant.
Sure did.
Probably right after Rush Post era. He was also an assistant coach also, but he knows a lot about that Bayou area. And for them to be playing as well as they are, Theodore's trying to make a definite statement in 7A football.
And speaking of a statement, one put up there right there by Justin Poe, picking up him a touchdown right there on that big run, Corey. That's his second touchdown tonight. He had a 9-yard run earlier in the first quarter. And Davidson has just opened up on Murphy.
You just have to answer the call if you're Murphy. Find a way to answer this bell. No quitting these Murphy Panthers, as evident as them answering the call to Coach Rico Jackson. And, you know, I like to see how they respond here on special teams if they are able to go ahead and get to the 20-yard line as they fight for yardage. But one thing, again, about a Rico Jackson coach team, they're going to have a lot of fight in them. They're going to play hard for 4 quarters. And, again, they've been dealt the injury bug, whether it's their starting quarterback or whether it's your young man going down just now in the ambulance in Cam Davis. You just have to find a way to battle through adversity here and have something positive. Get some momentum going. Early on the first drive of the game, they were able to march the field running the football. Even though you're trailing on the scoreboard, you still have an opportunity to do some damage.
Jalen Etley takes that kickoff return up to the 19-yard line, so it's 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Down 23 points, as we talked about. 10 quarters of scoreless football this season for the Murphy Panthers. As they hand it off to Fernando Brown, he reverses field, avoiding the Warriors, keeps those legs going. I think his forward progress will run out about 7 yards. Good run by Brown there.
I love the way that he just keeps trying to find additional yardage, and Davidson comes up on the stop. That's going to be D'Angelo Adjacent on the stop for the Davidson Warriors. The first time we've called his name tonight, but positive yardage on first down. You just want to stay away and prevent these penalties in early down and distance situations when you have something positive like that happen for you offensively.
Looks like it's about 2nd and 3 coming up here for the Panthers. Don't forget, at our heat timeout, we'll get on our Game of the Week Brain Buster. Put another question out there for our buddy Corey Bounty. Corey, 2-2 for the season so far on the Game of the Week Brain Buster. Fernando Brown running that ball. Gets the first down as he crosses the 30-yard line up to the 32.
Love the hard running stop by Jalen Ford, the free safety, 5'10", 170-pound sophomore. That's the type of positive yardage we saw Murphy have on the first drive of the game. Now you start stringing together a long drive like that, all it's going to take is one score for these Panthers to go ahead and electrify not only their own sidelines but their fans too. They're just waiting for that explosion on the scoreboard, and you know it's coming.
First and 10 for the Panthers. Handed off to Brown once again. He's got the hot hand, and Coach Rico Jackson is going to stick with the hot runner. He's known for that. He says Murphy's got to finish those drives and get in the end zone. No turnovers, but make sure you get off the field on third down and try to get the win tonight. So we know penalties have reared their ugly head, and special teams has caught them in a blunder once or two tonight. Second and about 4 coming up here for the Panthers.
No self-inflicted wounds for the Murphy Panthers here on this drive. It's critical that you execute here to answer the call of this Davidson Warriors score.
Keeping it on the ground, they bring in Corey Kelly, and boy, he is smashed at the line of scrimmage by the Warriors. Is that Jerry Williams again, Corey? No, I don't. Not 55 there.
I'll tell you what about Corey Kelly. He's a bounce to the outside type of runner. If he's able to get to the outside of that defense, his speed will show. He tried to cut it back, and that's not exactly the strength of where he wants to go. Cuts right into the heart and the teeth of this Davidson Warrior defense. Now you're at third down and a long 4 yards to go for the Murphy Panthers.
Fernando Brown checks back in for the Panthers offense. Keandre King in on offense right now. He plays linebacker for the Panthers. Play clock under 10. Stewart tries to connect with someone across the middle. No flags. I believe that was Greg Robinson, and now a late flag comes in, Corey, as Robinson was smashed between two Warriors defenders.
I don't know if it might have been like a targeting call, but it definitely is a penalty that's going to go against the Davidson Warriors, and it'll give this offensive line an opportunity to catch their breath and walk down the line of scrimmage into possibly Davidson Warrior territory. Oh, they're going to wave it off.
Waving off the flag. It was a late flag, Corey. It was a late flag. So it's fourth down and short here for Coach Rico Jackson. Is he going to go for it down 23 points, 6:43 remaining in the third quarter?
I say you flip the field here. Your quarterback is your punter.
He sure is.
You go ahead and let him punt it, and you flip the field, and you try to get you another turnover here defensively.
Antonio Small setting up on his own 29-yard line, awaiting the punt from Caleb Stewart. Al Whedon, Corey Bounty, Kimberly Dunn down on the sidelines. We appreciate you joining us for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Bishop State. Davidson all in control tonight, up 23-0 over the Panthers. That was Murphy's first drive of the second half. Small just going to stay away from that one. The Panthers going to down it near the 20-yard line, maybe the 19 of Davidson. So great punt right there from Caleb Stewart.
The good thing is that you flip the field.
Right.
If you're the Murphy Panthers. The bad thing is you weren't able to score any points. Now what you have to do, you were able to put away one stop and put Davidson behind the sticks down in distance-wise. You want to go ahead and do that again so you can kind of creep up and get into Davidson territory past the 50-yard line here.
BSN Sports, where you can get team apparel and equipment from baseball to wrestling, all sports in between. BSN Sports, the heart of the game. Visit them online at bsnsports.com. Also want to thank Firehouse Subs. Thanks to Jim and Susie Sherman at the Greenlight Road location for taking care of us tonight, as they always do for the crew. Firehouse Subs, enjoy more subs and save more lives. First and 10 for the Davidson Warriors as they hand that one off to DJ Butler up the middle, core. A big bustling run for about 9 yards, close to the first down marker.
Well, you saw Poe with that long run for the touchdown a series or 2 series ago. And Butler, again, is part of that 1-2 punch.
First down, Corey.
That the Davidson Warriors have, and it does move the sticks, and that's important. You get the ball right at your own 29-yard line.
Butler comes in, fresh legs, picks up a first down. As we are under 6 minutes here in the third quarter. Vick takes the play clock down about 5 seconds. Just a quarterback keeper straight up the gut. Picks up about 6 or 7 on the play. It'll be second and about 4 or maybe second and 5 coming up here for the Davidson Warriors. And we have our heat timeout right here, Corey. I think we're going to try to get on Auburn, not the brain buster. We'll check in with Kimberly Dunn on the sideline. What's going on, Kim?
Hey guys, I was just going to give you a quick update on the injury that we had earlier. They said that he was experiencing some tingling in the back of his neck, and so they merely took him away as just a precaution. He still had full feeling in his fingers, but they wanted to make sure, because of where the location of the injury was, that he was okay, so they are just taking him for observation to make sure that there are no complications.
Thank you, Kimberly. Makes total sense to me, Corey. I totally get it. Make sure you take care and be precautionary in all measures. All right, Corey, time for your game of the week brain buster. So far, you're 2 for 2 on the season so far, young man. So let's get the question up here. Wade and Miss Diana pull it up for us in the truck, and we'll see what we're working with. All right, Corey, Davidson has made the playoffs 19 times. What local team have they played the most games against in the playoffs? And we have a multiple choice for you tonight, Corey LeBounty.
I like that. I thank
you
for
earned
that.
it. You earned it.
I like that multiple choice. The first multiple choice of the year here on your Brain Buster.
There's your question. Davidson has made the playoffs 19 times. What local team have they played the most games against in the playoffs? We'll reveal that answer between the third and the fourth quarter. Then we got a little bug on the screen there, Corey, our statistician, China Powell. She's trying to take a guess at the answer. Second and about 4 or 5 here as they get the ball to Justin Poe. He keeps the legs going and gets close to the line to gain, which is the 39. So it's going to be third and short coming up for the Warriors.
Positive yardage, but here is a huge third down opportunity for this Murphy Panther defense. If they can find a way to come away with the stop and put it on the foot of the Davidson Warriors punter, that's going to be huge from a momentum standpoint. Now, again, you want to play with a lot of energy and a lot of juice, and that's exactly what has to happen on this defensive line front, led by defensive coordinator Tellis Stone. They're going to get down here in this 4-3 defense and see if they can get a stop.
They put him in the box, and they cannot stop Justin Poe. He picks up the first down close to the 45-yard line, and the Warriors still on the move.
That's a huge first down for the Davidson Warriors because we've had the heat timeout. They want to continue to keep this Murphy Panther defense on the field as long as possible because, again, the advantage of getting the Murphy Panthers defense on the field long enough, even though humidity has continued to drop here in West Mobile, you'll have them trailing 23-0 with their hands on their hips if you're able to keep them on the field and sustain any type of long drive.
First and 10 ball on the 45, and DJ Butler is met up the middle by the Panthers. Whoa, as he is pushed back for maybe a 1 or 2 yard loss. It'll be second and long coming up here for Davidson.
Good job of the push up front by this Panther defense, and that's what they wanted on that third down play. Weren't able to come away with it, but
I think Zykees James comes up from offense to make the tackle, Corey, number 50.
Hey, that's what you have to have, those pluggers that you need. And Zykees James plays left guard by trade, but was able to get in the line of scrimmage and get in the backfield. 1 yard loss on the play.
Second and 11 coming up here for Davidson. They give the jet sweep to Justin Poe. He turns the corner. I'm sorry, that's Antonio Small, number 11, and he goes into Panther territory, knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Big run by Antonio Small.
Small, nothing small about this run. He was able to hit the jet sweep around the outside. 5'8", 143-pound speedster. We called his name earlier in the game, and he was able to bounce back from that drop pass off an outstanding run that moves the sticks and the chains for the Davidson Warriors.
His name may be small, big impact right there. Takes the ball into Panther territory. Coach Cawley said Davidson has to control the clock, reduce those penalties, be careful, be consistent, and play smart. They've seemed to touch on a lot of those tonight, Corey, as they are up 23 points and driving to try to get more points on the board here in the third quarter. There's Justin Poe, just pushes one of the Panthers off of him, picks up maybe 2 on the carry. Second and long coming up for the Warriors.
If you're Murphy, again, creating long down and distance situations for the Warriors is important, but you don't want them to try to get 3 and 4 yards on second down. You know Coach Cawley and offensive coordinator Chris Denny are going to be satisfied with continuing to churn and grind out clock time here as we're winding down in the third quarter with the Warriors leading 23-0.
Second and about 8 here for Davidson. Handoff up the middle. Didn't know if that was Poe or if that's Butler. Take a look at the number. I believe it may be Poe. Justin Poe on the carry. Corey, I was doing some research for this ball game. Murphy comes into this ball game 0-2. Coach Rico Jackson in his coaching career has never started the season 0-3, Corey.
Yeah, I mean, I know he doesn't want to start that trend now, but again, it's going to be up to his defense to just buckle up and find a way to get one stop. And that stop has to occur. You don't want the Warriors to get into the red zone area.
Just a little wildcat action right there with Poe on the carry. That's enough for the first down as the Warriors approach the red zone. Another first down for Davidson. 9 placed at the 22-yard line, Corey. 2 yards outside of the red zone, only 22 away from scoring 6 more points.
Yeah, I think this is the 9th play of this Davidson Warrior drive, and I mentioned how important it was.
Eating clock.
No question about it, Al. They needed to go ahead and try, if you're the Murphy Panthers, to get off the field, and have not been able to do so far.
Fick just keeps that one. Falls just past the line of scrimmage as we are approaching the end of the third quarter. And unfortunately, another scoreless quarter here for the Murphy Panthers.
They got the stop that they wanted coming out of halftime. Just were not able to really get anything going offensively in regards to down and distance or controlling the clock. Davidson, it's been all Warriors from a clock standpoint here in the third quarter.
Fick has time, rolling out to his strong side, just going to keep it. Malachi Howard on the tackle. He's just inside the red zone. They'll say he's right at the 20, and that is the end of the third quarter. Davidson on top 23-0 over Murphy. Al Wheaton, Corey Bounty, Kimberly Dunn here for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Bishop State. And I think it is time to reveal our Game of the Week Brain Buster before we take a look at some three-quarter stats here coming up. So here's the question for Corey Bounty. Davidson has made the playoffs 19 times. What local team have they played the most games against in the playoffs? And it is one of your favorites, Corey, multiple choice. So.
Yeah, and I, you know, when I start looking at it, I don't want to say it's Viger. I want to go A or B. I'm going to go A.
You going to go A, the Daphne Trojans?
Yeah.
All right, Miss Diane, hit the magic button. And let's reveal the answer for Corey. Oh, Corey, wrong answer. It is the Fairhope Pirates.
A or B, 50-50 chance there, and went A.
Now here's your plus one, Corey. They have played Fairhope in the playoffs 3 times. They've also played Central Phoenix City in the playoffs 3 times as well. But locally, they faced the Pirates 3 times.
Central Phoenix City, I remember that being an outstanding matchup with Danny Smith being defensive coordinator. I want to say that's the time Jaquasi Tart and Jimmy Ward were playing for the Davidson Warriors at that particular time. But they had a stingy defense back then. But Central Phoenix City was pretty good too. And they played some classic confrontations in the playoffs. Like you said, that's why you saw 3 games against Central and Phoenix City, 3 against Fairhope. But the Davidson Warriors, not as large as they once were from a 7A standpoint.
That's correct. They consistently made the playoffs for years.
Absolutely,
Sure
at that 6A level. And here it is, the Murphy Panthers to start the 4th quarter are trying to find a way to get a stop on 3rd down.
Our statistician, China Powell, just in disbelief. She couldn't believe it, Corey. She thought it was Daphne as well. 3rd down here coming up for the Warriors. Ball at the 20-yard line. Fick gets that one out to DJ Butler. And that's a touchdown, Corey. 20-yard pass for a touchdown, and the Warriors score again.
What an outstanding wheel route by the running back out of the backfield, but an even better throw by quarterback Bryce Fick. He had time. You look at the wheel route that was run, and the biggest thing that the back had to do was catch the football. He was able to do so and scores another 6 points for the Davidson Warriors as they now lead 29-0 to start the 4th quarter of action.
Jonah DeLonga on for the extra point. Low snap, doesn't bother him at all because it is good. Davidson up by 30 over Murphy. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Bishop State.
If you look at the numbers, Mobile County Public Schools is making great strides. With more than 53,000 students, 7,000 employees, and 90 schools, we are consistently increasing our 4-year graduation rate and our first-class pre-K program. We continue to strive for national recognition and continue to prepare our students for the global workforce. And we do all of this with one goal in mind, to equip and empower college and career-ready graduates. Mobile County Public Schools. We're learning today, leading tomorrow.
A 20-yard pass from Bryce Fick to DJ Butler extends the lead by 7 to make it 30-0 over the Panthers. The Warriors all in control tonight, Corey.
And hopefully we're able to take a look at that replay one more time, and you'll see the excellent route being run by Derek Butler. And anytime you have a back that has the gear that he has, you also coming out of the backfield as well. And again, just a great throw by Fick. Outstanding hands by Butler. He snags the pigskin in and scores 6. 30-0 our score here in this 7A Region 1 contest. That drive was a long drive that consisted of 12 plays for 81 yards.
That's right.
For the Davidson Warriors.
Great work there, China Powell, on the stats. And Corey ate so much time off the clock that drive did.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. That
so much
now
time.
You're making Murphy be a pass-oriented team to try to get back in the game.
So Murphy takes over right here, ball on the 20-yard line. Caleb Stewart has in the backfield with him, I believe that's Fernando Brown. Stewart looking to connect. That's a live ball. And that ball came out before he went down. That's a turnover, Corey. Actually, our first turnover of the ball game at the 11-18 mark. Fumble by Caleb Stewart.
Caleb
picked up
Stewart,
by the Warriors.
He wanted a pump fake as he drives back in that shotgun. As soon as he tries to pump fake, great pressure from the defensive end, Tremaine Barnes, the 6'1", 171-pound junior, creating our first turnover of the game, and that sets up the Davidson Warriors an outstanding field position as the football is going to be already in the Panther red zone area at the 15-yard line of Murphy.
And I think we're going to get another dose of Justin Poe or DJ Butler. think we may have a quarterback change too, Corey. In for the Warriors, Ryan Stewart. So I think Coach Carley is going to rest Bryce Fick the rest of the quarter. Yep, there he is, straight up the middle. Fumble, and I believe Murphy's on top of it.
Yeah, that's one of the things when you bring in a new player in the game. Murphy, no quit in these Panthers as they pounce on that pigskin and come away with it. Another turnover for turnover. It looks like Brighton Wilkerson comes away with that takeaway for the Murphy Panthers.
The extra effort, I think, probably got the young man in trouble. He tricked our cameraman right quick, but Murphy regains the ball.
Ripping away at the ball like they're taught by defensive coordinator Tellus Stone. And, you know, that turnover that was given away by the Panthers now, they have an opportunity to redeem themselves. 10:34 remaining in the fourth quarter, trailing 30-0, but they're going to get the ball deep in their own territory, just like they were moments ago prior to them fumbling it away.
I just flipped my flip chart and I have to flip it back, Corey. It's 1st and 10 ball on the 18-yard line of Murphy. Fernando Brown with the carry. And the Warriors are having none of that.
Number 6 for Murphy, tackled by Russell Shaw.
Russell Shaw, inside linebacker, takes Brown and stops his forward progress. It's going to be 2nd and 9 coming up here for Murphy. Having been held to 11 scoreless quarters this season. Empty set coming up here from Murphy. Looks like, no, Fernando Brown's going to move into the backfield. As we get a nice breeze here atop of the press box, Corey, our paper's going everywhere. Stewart throws it out there. Jazarian Hardy couldn't haul it in. Almost had it, Corey.
That would have been huge.
That would have. Doing his push-ups.
You know, he feels that if he puts his hands on it, he's got to come away with it. But it's a good play call nonetheless. And you look at the time Caleb Stewart had, and nice spiral, and right in and out of Hardy's hands, and that's why he gets in push-up position for the Panthers.
Chris Carter said you put your hands on it. You got to catch that. You got to bring that in. Timeout called by Rico Jackson and the Murphy Panthers. 3rd and long here for Murphy, so they're going to talk about it. So we'll let them talk about it and take a break. We'll meet you on the other side. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
It was just like an extension of home.
Bishop give you that outlet to give you a career, a successful career.
We're doing some great things at Bishop State. Keep an eye on us.
Don't forget to mark your calendar. Monday is Labor Day, September 6th, so all schools and offices will be closed with the Mobile County Public School System. Just a reminder, September 6th is Labor Day. Mark your calendar. Or, Corey, as I like to say, you have one of those computers in your hand. Oh, I'm sorry, your mobile phone. It should already be highlighted. September 6th is Labor Day.
Absolutely. I know it's a long 3-day weekend and well-deserved for everyone. Just want everyone to be safe during the Labor Day holiday.
Oh, yes, and hopefully we won't have any surprises with any things out there in the Gulf headed our way. Stewart rolling out on 3rd down. That one's going to be high as he throws it into the sidelines of the Panthers. So it is 4th down here for Murphy. 3 and out, Corey.
That brings up 4th down and 9.
3 and out is not what you wanted if you were the Murphy Panthers. But, again, you'll have an opportunity to punt this football away and trying to get your defense on the field. One of the things that we saw by the Davidson Warriors that last possession is they went with their backup quarterbacks, and that's how you led to the fumble. Ryan Stewart was out on the field, and Bryce Fick was able to get a little break. And sometimes when you're a head coach, you have to make that decision. Do I want my guys to get valuable and important reps, or do I want to risk injury? Because next week, Enterprise is coming to town
to
play this Davidson Warrior team, and you look at the Murphy Panthers, they're playing MGM, but Murphy going to bow up right here and try to get a stop defensively as Davidson trying to do something well on special teams.
Antonio Small feels that punt in the midst of some Panthers and takes it into Panther territory to the 29-yard line. Great return by Antonio Small. Next week, we are taking it up the road as Blount versus Citronelle for our MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Don't forget, we'll go live at 6:50 with our pregame show brought to you by Bishop State. That's going to be a good one, Corey. Blount versus Citronelle. I think it'll be our first time together going up to Wildcat Country, Corey.
And the score that I'm getting right now, 2-0, Baldwin County up over Blount. So that is a very intriguing score when you look at it.
Wow.
And Citronelle trailing Robertsdale 21-6.
The Bears, okay. Interesting. They're definitely interesting 2-0.
Some other scores, you know, you look at Theodore leading 71-0. BC Rain, Coach Yelding up 28-7 over the Satsuma Gators.
Second down and about 8 coming up here for Davidson. Ball resting at the 26-yard line. As Coach Carley's going deep into the roster, pretty much resting his starters at that point. I mean, at this point, on the carry. I believe that may have been Davis West. It's going to be a long 3rd and 10 coming up here for the Warriors. Backup quarterback Ryan Stewart still in the ball game. Stewart back to throw. Does have a receiver. Incomplete, but a flag comes out. That pass intended for Isaiah Kaiser.
And you start looking at this Davidson Warrior roster and backing it up. A lot of backups now in the game for Coach Carley.
That's right.
I mentioned it again. You know, it's important to get reps, even for your backups and live reps, not just in practice. And it gives your starters an opportunity to go ahead and get ready for a big-time non-region contest with Enterprise coming. There's the obvious call by Tim Porter.
Here's a replay right here as Stewart throws it up. Kaiser being impeded by the defender. So that's a 15-yard penalty. It's going to be 1st and 10.
Penalties half the distance to the goal line. The yardage will result in a first down.
So it is enough to pick up the first down, and the Warriors are in the end zone once again. I'm sorry, in the red zone once again. Ball sitting on the 19-yard line of Murphy.
Clock continues to run. That's the most important thing if you're the Davidson Warriors. And if you're the backups, you just want to continue to plug along and
that's right.
Try to go ahead and put your unit on the scoreboard as evident as the starter is getting rest for the Davidson Warriors.
Anthony Rabb on the carry right there. Picks up about 5 yards. Ball on the 14-yard line. Pretty much all night, Davidson's been in control of this ball game. Murphy definitely has had opportunities, Corey. So officials timeout. This is our last heat timeout of the ball game at the 5:48 mark here in the 4th quarter. We're going to take a break and come back. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
It was just like an extension of home.
Bishop give you that outlet to give you a career, a successful career.
We're doing some great things at Bishop State. Keep an eye on us.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose. Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
We welcome you back to Clem Richardson Stadium on the campus of Baker High School as Davidson is hosting Murphy tonight, and in control all night long. Ryan Stewart tries to connect with his receiver over the top, incomplete to Anthony Rabb. It'll be 3rd and about 6 coming up here for the Warriors.
Down and distance-wise, in the red zone area for Murphy, what you would like, but we know DeLonga has a nice leg on him. He's the specialist, all specialists, whether it's extra points,
right,
whether it's punting, whether it's kicking off, field goals. If they're not able to get this first down right here, you know DeLonga will have an opportunity to tack 3 on the board.
Hand off to the back, picks up a couple on that carry. I believe it may have been David West, but I see 38. I don't see a 38 on the roster here, Corey. Shot of Anthony Rabb right there. And you called it, Corey. DeLonga coming onto the field to attempt a field goal.
Looks like the ball is going to be spotted right at the 10-yard line.
So they're
right
setting
at
up
the 10-yard
at the
line.
17 for a 27-yard field goal attempt here. Kick is up.
Pre-snap penalty.
We had a pre-snap penalty, Corey. So, Corey, as we think about it here, as we're at 4 minutes remaining here in the ballgame, almost 4 minutes, what do you think about for our Career Tech Education Player of the ballgame? They're going to give DeLonga 5 more yards closer to kick this one. Actually, I'm thinking in mine, first time ever, I'm actually thinking of Justin Poe and DJ Butler tonight.
Yeah,
2 guys.
I'm
thinking of both of them, too,
monster.
Corey.
I mean,
seriously.
Offsides on the defense. Penalty is 5 yards. 4th down.
both of them have had long runs in this contest. Each of them had a touchdown apiece, but instead of a 27-yarder,
22-yarder this time, almost like an extra point, almost. Low snap, and of course, that is no good, but it's a live ball.
It's a track meet.
And Murphy running that back. We get a number 7. DeLonga still in it, trying to make a possible tackle. He runs by DeLonga.
Touchdown.
But we have a flag on the play, Corey, back here on the 23-yard line. Rashad McQuirter, as the Murphy cheerleaders are running down to the end zone, but white hat Tim Porter is walking back to pick up the flag.
Block in the back.
Great camera work right there. Great camera work by our team. That is blocking the back, so those points will not count, Corey.
But at least the Murphy Panther band gets a chance to play the school fight song. And that's a plus for the Murphy Panthers because, again, you're showing that special teams can make a difference. And you hate that McWhirter had that long dash, and as he cuts back, hits the circle button, nice spin move, continue to keep those legs churning as he had Big D lineman trying to tackle him. He squirts through that, and all for naught as it's going to be marched off.
But going back to our main.
16-yard penalty. And a first down for Murphy.
But going back to our discussion, Corey, I'm thinking probably our first time ever, dual players of the game. Justin Post, 63-yard touchdown run. DJ Butler caught that 20-yard touchdown pass off that beautiful wheel route early in the contest. He had a 48-yard run. Justin Post had a 9-yard touchdown run. But they were both kind of that 1-2 punch tonight, kind of similar to what we've seen over the years with the Theodore Bobcats when they would just run one back and run two back, then run another back. Great action tonight by both young men.
Both backs showed once they get past the line of scrimmage, they know what to do with the football. One is a senior, one is a sophomore, and you flip their numbers upside down. Either way it goes, 9 or 6, 6 or 9, you're going to get the same result, which is positive yardage for the Davidson Warriors, and that gives Enterprise something to look at on film, that you cannot allow these young men to get past the line of scrimmage. They have a gear to where if they do get in that second level of defense, second and third level, they're just going to outrun cornerbacks and safeties who are pretty fast also.
Second down and 10 coming up here for the Panthers. Caleb Stewart giving the signal out to his receiver. Trip receivers to the bottom of the screen here. They're going to toss it out to Fernando Brown, set up a little screen. Brown has plenty of room. Warriors can't wrap him up as he gets past the 36, 37-yard line, goes out of bounds. And gets some depth right there from Bryce Fick on the sidelines. Take a look at the replay here. Nice run with that catch from Fernando Brown.
Even better check down, and that was a quick decision check down to your back, and that was open earlier. You just chose not to go to him or hold the ball a little bit too long, but as the season continues to progress, that's something that when they look at it on film, Stewart would know he can go to his checkdowns a little bit faster than he has tonight. And that just comes with game experience. Here's a young man who didn't play last week at quarterback. The starting quarterback, Derek Davis, out for the season with a torn ACL in game number 1. So that puts Caleb Stewart, a young man who's 6 foot, 206-pound senior, to continue to learn in live game action as he's doing tonight.
Pass complete across the field.
Ben Jackson.
Looks like Ben Jackson. I thought that was 16, but 15. Ben Jackson, as the Warriors not looking at the scoreboard. But, Corey, I was checking some of my research. If Davidson holds on for this win tonight, it will be only the third shutout of Murphy in this storied history. The last shutout, they defeated Murphy back in 2018, 21-0. And the only other previous shutout where they won back in 2005, where they beat Murphy 35-0, and a flag comes in. I believe that may be roughing the passer there.
Face mask,
foul, yeah,
or a horse collar, whatever you want to call it in that situation. Murphy football is going to be stuck with it. Cameron Madison.
All right, I think the decision has been made. Let's put it up, Corey. Our Career Tech Education player of the game. And so we're going to go with Derek Butler tonight, DJ Butler Davidson. And he had an awesome night tonight doing his thing, Corey, all on the field, in the air, but more especially on the ground for the Davidson Warriors.
Well, we didn't have dual, but we had the young, phenomenal, and sensational sophomore get it done for the Davidson Warriors.
Caleb Stewart trying to go back to Jackson, but no, that pass is caught and hauled in by Wilson Edney. Final score check coming in from the Theodore Bryant game, 71-0, Corey. Theodore all over Bryant in the Battle of South Mobile County.
Murphy wants to avoid the shutout.
They do.
Davidson wants to preserve the shutout. So it's a battle of two teams here in the fourth quarter of action. Timeout called on the field. Why is that? It's for a couple of reasons. It's for Davidson to have an opportunity to try to stop Murphy from scoring. I can tell you what.
They want the shutout.
No quit in this Murphy Panther team. As we mentioned, they didn't want to stop it. And that young man has a very bright future, and I guarantee I'll be calling his name along with a lot of other media members for many years to come here for the Davidson Warrior program. All this young man has to do is continue to stay humble, work hard, get in the weight room, continue to get faster and stronger, take care of his books. But, again, the coaches, not only from Davidson, but from around the community, have nothing but high praise, both athletically and academically, for our Career Tech player of the game.
Ball on the 7-yard line, 1st and goal here. It's all about pride for both of these teams, pride for Murphy to score and pride for Davidson to pitch the shutout. Does Edney get it in?
Yes.
He does. Jalen Edney with a 7-yard touchdown pass from Caleb Stewart. A little extracurricular activity going on the field. As Stewart tosses to Edney, and he hits the pylon for a score. So Coach Rico Jackson and the Panthers avoid the shutout.
That's huge. I mean, and why do I say that's huge? Even though there's only 46 seconds left in the game, because you don't get shut out, you avoid 12 scoreless quarters of football. You are able to build off of that from a confidence standpoint from Caleb Stewart, knowing that he can go to any of his wide receivers and they're going to come through for him. That's just a great job of Edney making sure he toe taps and gets it in the end zone for 6. And
Sure
that's
did.
the first 6 points of the season for the Murphy Panthers.
Very good observation there, Corey LeBounty. You're right. So the pride comes through for the Panthers as they get on the board, even though the scoreboard does not reflect 6 points for Murphy. It was. They said it was 4th down, Corey. So, well, no, I don't know. Did they? As far as I know, it was a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, you've been a little slow on the clock
There
all
we go,
night
finally.
in regards to our
Finally,
scorekeeper and
finally.
operator. But 30-7, our score is correct on your
Right,
screen,
right.
and that's all that matters. We know what the score is here. Our guys do a great job, and gals in the truck staying on top of everything, bringing us our replays, bringing us our great game shots, and we just want to thank them for all their hard work because we wouldn't be on the air or set up without them.
Don't forget, mark your calendar. It's Monday, September 6th, Labor Day. All schools and offices are closed. So Mobile County Public School Systems wants to remind you, September 6th is Labor Day. All schools and offices will be closed. Corey, what kind of plans you got for the weekend, man? Besides college football.
Unfortunately, on Monday I do have to work, but looking forward to next week's matchup also.
All right, yeah, Blunt and Citronelle will be taking it up Highway 45 as the Wildcats will host the Leopards. Don't forget, we'll show up live at 6:50 with the pregame show brought to you by Bishop State. So looking forward to that. Haven't been up to Citronelle in a couple years, Corey. I think it may be your first ride up the road with us.
Yeah, War Memorial Stadium, I do believe, is what it's called in Wildcat Nation. And it'll be interesting to see how Coach Barnett is able to bounce back. And I know in a very low-scoring game
You
earlier,
said it was 2-0.
2-0 was the score earlier, and I'm going to try to get a score check on that one before we get off the air.
46 seconds remaining here in this contest. Murphy avoids the upset by getting the last-minute score right there, 30-7. And they go with the onside kick. Does it go 10 yards? The flag comes out. I believe it may not have. We'll wait for the officials to sort it out.
And now while they do sort it out, here are some other scores from around the Mobile Baldwin County area tonight. UMS Wright leads LaFleur 38-0 in the 4th quarter. Also, Fairhope has taken the lead on Daphne 31-24. Spanish Fort over Gulf Shores in the 4th quarter 42-14. McGill-Tulane leading Saraland 18-10. Baldwin County and Blunt still at 2-0.
Wow.
T.R. Miller leading College Hill Christian 22-0. Foley and Baker in a barn burner at 22-all. And also St. Paul's leads Williamson 16-12. BC Rain over Satsuma 28-7. Chickasaw tied up at 8 with Hillcrest Evergreen. Faith Academy leading Alberta 49-13. Viger, a final score over WS Neal with the win 41-6. So again, Viger getting off to a strong start.
Sure.
And Robertsdale beat Central 21-6.
So this pretty much will wrap it up for our ball game coming up here. All Davidson has to do is take a knee. The officials sorted it out. 1st and 10 for the Warriors right at the midfield stripe. And they pretty much came out and ran the ball, ran it quite heavily, but most importantly, Corey, controlled the clock for the majority of the ball game. And when Murphy had opportunities, they could not capitalize, something that has prevented them from winning ball games this season.
Definitely in the second half, they were able to capitalize.
Only down 16 points at halftime.
And that's what's important. I mean, when you start looking at what it took to win this game for the Davidson Warriors, they're 1-0. here in their home for 2021. And Derek Butler, the sophomore running back, put on an outstanding show tonight. And, you know, Davidson needed to prevent penalties. They needed to have great special teams and needed to wrap up, and they did so throughout the contest.
Sure did.
It's evident in the score. And Murphy did find a little positive light. Caleb Stewart was able to get that late touchdown, get that goose egg off of the board. And again, you just want to see them continue to finish drives. I know that they'll work on that against MGM. We had that game a couple of years ago, and it wound up being an outstanding game also, Al. So, again, Rico Jackson is going to have his team up and rearing to go. They got off to a quick start.
Sure did.
1 year ago, and then it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
That's right.
So the Panthers are going to regroup and get things together here very soon.
He said he has a resilient bunch. He knows they're going to get over this hump. Unfortunately, they did not get the win tonight, losing 30-7, but I know he's going to be back at it this week. Had a short week this week, and had to make a decision about a quarterback after losing a quarterback to go with Caleb Stewart. But overall, I think Stewart did a pretty fine job.
Yeah, I mean, you look at his halftime stats, only 4 out of 11, but he started the second half and was able to have a lot more success. You look at the rushing yardage for Davidson, though, 228 total rushing yards for the Davidson Warriors. Only 46 passing yards. They definitely dominated, like you said, time of possession on the clock, milked it out. 274 total yards for Davidson. 194 for Murphy. One turnover apiece as they had back-to-back turnovers. The penalties, 8 for 56. 5 for 45 for Davidson. 30-7. Our final score here in West Mobile in the 7A Region 1 matchup, Al.
But the one thing about passing yards for Davidson, when they came in, they definitely came at a good time.
Yeah, they really did. And, you know, if you're the Davidson Warriors, what you have to do is you have to control the clock. That's what Rick Cawley and Coach Denny want to do. They want to go ahead with those 1-2 punch that they have.
Right.
If you're able to go ahead and control the line of scrimmage, Coach Cawley mentioned to us they're not huge.
Small team,
across the line, offensively or defensively. But tonight they were able to grind out the clock. Murphy had positive yardage in the first quarter on that opening drive. Took off some 6.5 minutes, as we mentioned that earlier in the telecast.
But no points, Corey.
But no points as Davidson turned around and was able to get 6 off of their drive. And then, again, the special teams let down when you get the ball at the half-yard line. You get the safety. Now you're trailing 9-0 early. So you don't throw away the playbook. You want to try to stick with what you had, but you couldn't really throw the ball when you needed to.
Correct.
Because it was just a game that dictated Davidson grinding out the clock.
They definitely played with a lot of heart tonight. They may not have had the weight. They're small in stature, but their heart came through when they needed it. And, boy, they were running the ball tonight behind DJ Butler and Justin Poe. As we told you, our Career Tech Education Player of the Game is DJ Butler. And I know Kimberly Dunn is down on the sideline trying to get head coach Rick Cawley. So we won't have Rick Cawley tonight, but we definitely had a good ball game. Davidson got the win tonight, 30-7 for our statistician, China Powell, Matt Moore, Kimberly Dunn, and my booth partner, Corley Bounty. We thank you for watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Bishop State Community College. Next week, we're going to Citronelle. Have yourself a great Labor Day weekend.